Why do I read?
I live in two worlds. One is a world of books.
For me, it's books, books, books.
The mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone.
I guess people like to read about the things that they want most and experience the least.
Books feed me.
Once upon a time.
I read it in a book once.
Is this a kissing book?
I don't care. I'm not ashamed of my book.
It's not right for a woman to read. Soon she starts getting ideas and thinking.
I checked this out weeks ago for a bit of light reading.
Books! You have never interested me more.
I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Now, when you read, don't just consider what the author thinks. Consider what you think.
I love that book.
I hated that book.
How can you read this? There's no pictures.
Don't read this book.
Those books are good. This might be the best book I've ever read.
I'm gonna go read.
Go ahead, read.
Why do I read? I read because this world is not about free.
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello. How are you?
I'm alive. Good.
You're alive. I'm good
alive.
Too.
How are you?
I'm good. I am alive also.
Oh, good. Well, we've got that covered.
Yay. Check. Like, meeting bare minimum standards on this evening.
I know, right? I just finished my notes today.
So did I.
I actually finished reading this a long time ago. So it was a great refresher.
Oh, nice. I just finished it over the weekend. Well, I guess it is the weekend now. I am so thrown off because I was dog sitting at work all week. So it's like it's felt like time off, except not. So my internal clock is so screwed up right now.
It's the weekend. It's Sunday.
It actually is. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. I'm ready for the kids to go back to school tomorrow. I'm very excited. I've got plans this week to get some things done around the house, so.
I thought that they had spring break the week before. Or is it 2 weeks?
They did have it the week before, but it's been a long 2 days, and I'm excited. Tomorrow. For Monday.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the boys go back to school tomorrow.
You look so cozy tonight.
Oh, yeah. I've got my, big, oversized hoodie sweater on, but it's, one of those that, cowls around your neck.
Oh, my God. Do you know what I thought? I just didn't want to be rude. I thought you put your hoodie on backwards. I thought it was on backwards. Well, I mean, it was just pulled up in the front, really, and I was like, is she wearing that? Is that on backwards? Weird.
Yeah, no, it's just a very large diaphanous sweater.
It doesn't look diaphanous.
It's not diaphanous. I just really wanted to say the word.
Ooh, I figured out another word that I love.
Ooh.
I think we should just have a list of words that we love.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I like luminescent.
Ooh.
Or luminescence. Or bioluminescence.
Ooh. That's a fun word. Luminescence.
Right? Luminescence. Diaphanous. Purgatory. Oh, wait. That's not the right word. What's your word?
Oh, petrichor.
Petrichor. What did I say? Purgatory? Petrichor.
Petrichor.
Divinity.
Divinity is on that list. I'm gonna pour a small glass of wine.
What are you drinking tonight?
It is a Malbec. Welcome, Bookmates, to
Welcome.
April Book Club.
April
Yay.
Book Club.
April Book Club. In the future, I hope you had a good Easter.
Yes, right? Because it'll be 10 days past.
Yeah, 10 days past.
Spring is here.
Spring is here. Whoa. It's not here all the way yet. We are still on fourth winter.
Right?
Last week.
Yeah, we are too. We had some really bad weather this past week, tornadoes, and it was windy and rainstorms.
I didn't even see that on the news. Guys, it was so cute. My dad texted me and he was like, there's some crazy weather over there where Lita lives. Like, is she okay? Have you talked to her? I was like,
that is the sweetest thing.
But then I was like, oh, I guess I haven't heard from her today. I didn't even know. And then I texted you and I told you that. And I was like, so are you alive?
Yeah, we had some the tornado sirens went off one day. So we're really far away from each other.
I know. It's so mean.
I know, it's cruel. Life is cruel. It's like
cruel
the
trick.
World couldn't handle that much awesomeness.
And even now, technology is making it to where we can be in the same room together once again.
Again. I like that one. That's very cheeky. Again.
Or that I was just in our Phantasma episode where he was like, yes, that phantom bastard has sabotaged me time and time again.
That's such a fun episode. I had a good time
Ever
doing
since
that
then,
one.
I'm like, time and time again, I have been thwarted. So now every
Do you
time
know what I think totally sucks? That the one episode that just like explodes as soon as it drops ends up being Phantasma.
The irony.
And
It's so
I am
weird.
so fucking lost in that episode. I am all over the I've like got characters written down that weren't even in the book. Like, it's like bad.
Oh,
No.
but that made for such a fun time. Like, well, where's Rowington? And I was like,
Where the hell is wait a second.
That person is not in
Why
this
do I
book.
have this in my notes? Yeah.
That was a really fun one, though.
Well, I'm excited to talk about this book, too.
Me too. What did we read this month?
A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. And it was the winner of our book recommendation contest from December of 2024.
Yeah.
And the winner was Books in Tandem. One word, Books in Tandem. And they've actually been following us for a long time.
Yeah, we kind of quasi met them through TikTok, and they're another BFF book duo on TikTok. You should go check them out. They're so much fun. So thanks for the rec, Books in Tandem. Yes. We are here. We're doing it.
We're doing it. Fate Inked in Blood.
We're doing it.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We are reading A Fate Inked in Blood, and we are going to be talking about the entire book. Any plot points, plot twists, everything about the book we will be discussing at length, book club style. So if you haven't read this book yet and you don't want it spoiled for you, pause it, go read it, come on back and join us. And then if you don't plan on reading it, just stick around, see what all the fuss is about, and you can walk away feeling like you have read it.
Also, we're going to talk about all the things. Anything sexual, anything triggering within the book. We cuss. We don't care. Welcome to the show. Yay.
Welcome. Yay.
I'm not saying it today. Putting my foot down.
You have been spoiler alerted.
Not saying it.
I think now you only don't say it because you know I want you to.
Right.
You're just being an asshole about it.
Not saying it. I don't bark on command.
You bitch.
I'm not a bitch, I'm your wife.
And after that, I'm not even sure I want to be that anymore. A Fate Inked in Blood.
Fate Inked in Blood. Well,
let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I've got a question for you. Did you like it?
I did like it. Yeah, definitely liked it. Yeah, it's a really fun book.
It's fun. I liked it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the whole, I've always loved the whole Viking Norse vibe with
Yeah, me
anything.
too.
And I feel like there's not enough of it. So it was also super refreshing to have like a fantasy type thing, but it was like not the oversaturated fantasies that we've kind of been in lately. You know, it's just, it has more of a magical realism than fantasy almost because of the like the Norse lore and the Viking stuff that like has basis in history and stuff like that too, which is really cool and fun.
Yes, I also am a pretty big fan of Viking stuff, and I love watching that kind of stuff on the History Channel, and I love video games that are Viking and movies and television, and I was really excited to read it and actually know a little bit about Norse mythology, so it was kind of fun to see all those little tidbits.
As do I. Do you want to know a fun fact?
Oh, what?
Fun fact, my uncle, my mom's brother, he did an extensive genealogy chart for my mom's side of the family, and he tracked our ancestry on my mom's side all the way back to Viking royalty, literally. And even in my DNA results, I am literally half Norse. So it's literally in my blood. It's literally in my ancestry. And another fun fact, the goddess that Freya in the book is named for or like given the blood to, Lin, it's spelled Hlin. My mom's maiden name is Julene, Juhlin. So it's also in my name, or my mom's maiden name anyway. So it was a really fun nod and fun thing to.
That's really cool. I did not know that.
I know, right?
We've never said anything about that. I thought you were French.
Have I not? French?
Or Greek or Italian. That would be my guess.
No, on my mom's side, I'm like English, Scandinavian, Norse ancestry. My dad's more like Western European.
Well,
but anyway, that's a fun
I'm mostly
fact
a
for
Polak, so I don't know. We're mostly Polish, or at least, well, I guess we're all kind of mutts at this point. It's the melting pot, you know? We've been in the pot for a while.
Yeah.
And now we're like just mutts, all of us. But I do have a lot of Polish in there.
Cool. Yeah.
Cabbage, anyone? Do you like cabbage?
The amount of times your Gramps has tried to give me cabbage throughout our lives.
So, Vikings are hot. Vikings are hot. Viking men are hot. Okay. Do you want a synopsis?
Should we do a little... I was just about to ask. Hit us with a synopsis.
I have prepared something.
You
have prepared something. Yay!
Yay!
Fjalltindr blood. Here we go. So, very at its most raw, I would say that this book is a romantasy set in the world of Norse mythology. Magical realism, like you were saying. Not super extreme with the magical elements. And all the magic that you have is connected to a god. Directly to a god. And if they haven't gifted it to you, you don't have it. You're just human. So it's actually just a hint of magic. It's just a hint.
And they only have their magic based on like the specific god that gifted them a drop of their blood. And it's specific to that god's powers. So it's not like a free-for-all power fest.
Norse mythology features a large array of gods and goddesses, including the powerful Odin, one of the most recognizable. The god of war, wisdom, and death. Thor, that's also one that's very popular. I think that if you're well acquainted with the Marvel cinematic universe, you'll know just the basics of Norse mythology. You know, Thor, Odin, Loki, Helheim, Valhalla, like all those kinds. Yes. And so it's along those lines. Those are the gods, and these are the people in this story that live on the earth. It's a very long time ago, in the time of the Vikings. Fjalltindr Blood is a story about Freya, who is our main female protagonist. She is bound in an unwanted marriage and spends her days gutting fish, but dreams of becoming a warrior. Her dreams abruptly become reality when her husband betrays her to the region's Jarl, which is like a lord, an earl, or something like that.
Yeah, or what's the Scottish version? Like a laird?
Laird.
Yeah.
The laird. Actually, sometimes I found my brain wanting to say that. Laird.
Yeah.
Right?
Just a hop, skip, and a jump, yeah.
I've also been reading this like Scottish novel in tandem right now. So I'm like, oh, it's not laird. It's Jarl. So this betrayal lands her in a fight to the death against Jarl Snorri's son, Bjorn. To survive, Freya is forced to reveal her deepest secret, that she possesses a drop of a goddess's blood, which makes her a shield maiden with magic capable of repelling any attack. So, in this universe, they can incite their gifts from the gods by speaking that god's name, and it will invoke their gift. For Bjorn, our main male protagonist, is it Tyr? Tyr,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
He has a drop of blood from the god Tyr, so when he speaks his name, an axe, a flaming axe appears, and it's like the fire of the gods. It's not regular fire.
Yeah.
It's like a magical
fire.
flame. Tyr's fire. And Freya is a shield maiden. Nearly 2 decades ago, a seer spoke a prophecy of a shield maiden who would be born the night of a red moon and a child of the god Lin. And Lin is the goddess of protection. That child that would have been born for the prophecy would be the one and only child of Lin. Because she's not known to give her blood out at conception. This woman's name would be born in the fire of the gods, and she would unite the people of Scotland beneath the rule of the one who controlled her fate. And that was the prophecy that was spoken about the Shield Maiden, which ends up being Freya. And she's been hiding that her entire life, because her parents know if anyone finds out that she's the Shield Maiden, that they'll take her away. And they'll use her to fight wars and to conquer. And so she's been cloistered and forced to hide her Shield Maiden magic since childhood, as her family was terrified that the prophecy would cause her to be stolen away and used for conquest. She is married to Vragi, Vragi, a child of the gods, and was gifted to him for her great beauty, because she's a beautiful, beautiful woman. Her family relies on her to stay with Vragi, even though he is abusive and awful to everyone around him, but they want the financial support and stability of her being with Vragi and what that offers them.
And not only them, but their whole village relies on him too, as the one with the god's blood. He supplies a lot of the food and fish. What was his god? Vragi's?
I'm not really sure who his god was.
It was like a water god.
Yeah, it's something
that like makes the fish go to him or whatever.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we start our story. She's been married to this guy. No one knows she's a shield maiden. And she's been hiding for her whole life.
She doesn't even know she's the shield maiden because...
Well, she knows that she's a daughter of Lin.
Yes, but she doesn't know about the prophecy. Her parents left that part out of the story. They just said, never use your magic because your life won't be your own if you use it. But they kept it pretty vague, so she didn't really realize the scope of what that meant. And then she accidentally comes across Bjorn and ends up in a fight with him, and it's all kind of orchestrated ahead of time by the Jarl Snorri, who has been seeking out Freya for like 20 years. Ever since the prophecy was spoken, he's been hunting for her. And so he basically orchestrates this to force her into using her power to save her life. So she's like forced to fight to the death, quote, quote, with Bjorn. And Bjorn's holding back because he's like, I'm not going to kill her. Like, we've made your point. And he's like, no, fucking do it. So her magic is revealed. And then it's like, haha, I knew it. You should be married to me.
Even though Freya's married to Vragi, he is under the command of the Jarl Snorri, who's Bjorn's father. So it's kind of like there's tiers that you go up to, and the Jarl is usually the top of your tier.
Yeah. And Freya's brother Geir is in Snorri's warband.
Right.
As a warrior, too. And her husband, Freya's husband, Vragi, went to Snorri being like, I don't want to be married to her anymore. Like, she's totally useless. She won't give me babies because on the DL, Freya's been making sure that she hasn't gotten pregnant by him. And so
she
like,
shoves lemons up her cooch.
Ooh,
right?
That sounds so uncomfortable and
That
painful.
sounds like it would burn.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, do you remember when Bjorn? the beginning, I love Bjorn. Bjorn was always making me laugh because he's just so cheeky. But he was like, man, how could you, if you think you would know, because if she tasted like lemons and...
Well, I don't think that he was tasting her. I think it was just...
but that's what Bjorn said. He was like, you think you'd know if your wife tasted like lemons. And Freya was like, tasted? What? Your vagina is quite citrusy this afternoon, milady. How sour?
And so then the Jarl grants him his divorce from Freya, and then he's like, great, now I'm going to force you to marry me, and you'll be my second wife, and we'll go conquer the world together. And then Vragi is like, okay, well, I'm going to go get the girl that your brother's in love with and make her parents let her marry me. And Freya is like, and that's her best friend, Ingrid, or Ingri, depending on how you pronounce it. She's like, oh no, oh fucking no. Fucking no, you didn't. So she actually grabs Bjorn's god fire axe and chucks it into the back of his head and kills him, which is great. But then her hand is all burned to shit, and then they have to heal her.
Also, I was really impressed that all of that happened so quickly. Like,
I know.
Everything
I
that we just talked about, I know that it feels like we're talking about a lot right away, but all of this happens so fast. I mean, the first chapter, she's arguing with her husband, Vragi, and I've got a quote about how do you really pronounce it? Is it Vragi?
Vragi. I listened to the audiobook quite a bit,
I don't know.
Vragi.
The southern in me wants to make it sound like froggy, like a ribbit, like a frog. And I'm like, God, that's froggy. So cringe to my own ears.
And the sounds are so similar. Like when she first said it in the book, I was like, did she just say froggy? And then I looked at the book, I was like, oh, it's a V. Vragi.
Oh, did you listen to it? I didn't listen to the audiobook at all.
I listened, not the whole thing, but I popped in here and there to the audiobook. But then the pronunciations kind of threw me off a bit because there's a lot of weird words.
Well, yeah, because it's very Norse. Old Norse. Like, ancient. Page 4, Freya on Vragi. My dear husband was a child of the gods, having been granted a drop of Nord's blood at his conception, which gave him powerful magic over the creatures of the sea. Except instead of using it to care for our people, he used his magic to deprive other fishermen of any catch, even as he filled his own buckets. Then he charged double with the fish to the very people whose buckets we kept empty. So he's a real dick. And on page 7, this is an example of Vragi's cruelty.
He's a real dick.
I once watched him beach a whale, but instead of ending the animal's life immediately, he allowed it to work its way back into the water, only to use his magic to draw it out again, over and over, in front of all of the village, watching, his eyes filled with fascination as he tortured the animal for no reason, beyond the fact that he could.
Yeah.
So he's a real asshole.
He's a sick fuck.
And he knows that he's powerful, and he uses that as much as he possibly can.
Yeah. So you can see why Freya wanted to chuck an axe at the back of his head.
and she
was like, and then she was like, wow, I don't regret that.
Oh, but when she touches his axe and throws it, she doesn't realize that it's literally going to melt all of the skin off of her hand. Because it's not regular fire, it's God's fire. It's Tyr's fire. So they immediately try to rush her back because, it's the shield maiden. Like, we've got to make sure that she's okay.
Well, and it said, like, she looked down at her hand and her skin was, like, gone. So they take her to a healer and they basically, like, put some moss over her hand or something like that. And they pray to a specific healing god that the healer has powers with and is like, if you see fit to heal her, then do so. So
E-I-R.
Air. Yeah.
Air.
God, air. Air. And so that happens, and by the next morning, like, her skin is, like, grown back, but it's, like, kind of, like, burned and scarred.
And this is a description of them healing her palm with the god ear because her hand is burnt. Oh, this is page 43. At first, I thought I was seeing things, yet within heartbeats, the dense green plant covered my palm, circling its way around the back of my hand and swiftly covering my fingers and wrist, not ceasing until all my burns were concealed. Gods, I breathed, staring at my moss-covered limb as Bjorn carefully lowered it to rest on my stomach. I've never seen anything like it. So it's just, I don't know, the picture of that in my head, like the moss growing up her hand and covering her wounds and becoming like a natural really cool bandage. Yeah, it's just, I love the way she paints the setting.
Yeah, that was really cool. One of the thoughts I first had too, though, that I really wished was there that wasn't there was a map. There's no map.
Yeah.
I really wanted a map.
That would have been nice.
Even if it wasn't like a real world accurate map, just like a map for where they're at least.
You know what else would have been nice? A glossary for some of the words. I knew what some of them were, and I noted some of them, like Jarl and Scald and words like that. But I think Drakkar. Like for people that don't have a lot of knowledge, it'd have been a nice reference.
For sure. Time and time again, no maps.
Again. How hilarious was it the first time that she met Bjorn, she literally hit him in the face with a fish.
Oh yeah.
Just like pop. She was throwing fish over his shoulder.
And he was like, ah.
When she saw me, he had a big red mark on his face from the fish hitting him in the face.
And instead of being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, she goes, did the fish live? Because she had just been finishing fishing with Vroggy, and there were some left in the bucket that were still alive. And she's like, well, I'm going to throw them back and let them live or whatever. So as she's tossing these, one hits Bjorn. And she's like, oh shit, is the fish okay? And he's like, I don't know. Yeah, that was a fun meet cute, and he's immediately flirting with her. And he's like, oh, hello. And she's like, fuck off, I'm married. And he's like, well, I could take care of that, you know? Like, who's your husband? I could go kill him for you.
She's like, really?
So I could bed you good and proper.
Yeah, she was like, point me in the direction of your husband so I might kill him so I can take you to bed.
And at first she's like, oh, maybe. You're very hot. Half naked in the
So you can
river.
bed me with no concerns for propriety. That's what he says, actually.
Yes. One thing I had wondered with that whole prophecy about Freya, I know it's kind of like a one-off sentence, but I thought about it the whole book. When she is married off to Vroggy, the night of her wedding is when her dad dies. And I was like, I wonder if that's going to mean something later. And if it does, it didn't happen in this book, but like the whole book, I was wondering, I'm like, did that have... That's either like the most coincidental timing ever or something.
Yeah, you almost wonder if the parents knew more than they said, or if there's just more you're going to find out later.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot we're going to find out in this second
book.
We'll
yeah, I'm so excited about the next book. I am really excited.
Too. When you're kind of like getting to know Freya, and this is kind of before all these events take place with the fight and all that stuff. Page 13, I wrote down, oh, this is her Belle moment, like Beauty and the Beast Belle. On page 13, she thinks, but I wanted to do more than just survive. I wanted my days to be more than time I needed to endure. I wanted to live them, to relish them, to find passion and excitement in them the way that I had for that fleeting moment on a beach with a stranger. It was the wanting that made my life hard. If I could only stop wanting, perhaps I might find some happiness in what I had. Even as the thought rolled through my head, I cringed because it was exactly something my mother would say. Quit wanting more, Freya, and you should be content with what you have.
Yeah, because her family's been using her whole life.
They're pieces of shit that do not care about her and are only, like, use her as a pawn.
And I love that Bjorn just points that out constantly.
I know. It's so great. And I'll get to that later. Well, so far ahead, but...
Yeah. Page 8, a description of Bjorn. Okay. Because he sounds so fine.
So fine. Bjorn is fine.
He was alarmingly attractive. Tall and broad of shoulder. He appeared to be only a handful of years older than my 20 years. His black hair was shaved on the sides, the rest pulled back in a short tail behind his tattooed head. He was all high cheekbones and chiseled lines. And while most men wore beards, he wore only the scruff of a few days' absence from a razor.
That's a sweet spot of scruff.
Oh,
man,
yes.
right
Okay.
there.
Wait, I'm not even done. Okay. He wore no shirt and water dripped off his naked torso, corded with thick muscle, his sun-darkened skin marked with dozens of inky tattoos. Yes, please.
The lady loins doth burn.
The lady's loins. My core is so molten. Molten.
Not a raisin.
And
that's
yeah,
a reference
I love
to a past episode. If you missed it.
And the description of Freya on page 15 is pale skin, hair so blonde as to be nearly white, and amber eyes that glowed like eclipse suns.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Get it, girl.
Don't look at the sun.
I love that we're in a Viking Norse setting, but the MMC is like still like dark hair, that like dark features and not
love
blonde.
that.
Like, how did we get that? That's great.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of times, though, they make the Viking men very blonde.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's very stereotypical Viking. And so I like that it didn't lean too far into the stereotype. And he was like,
well, that definitely is a stereotype, too, because a lot of Vikings were dark-haired and complexioned, even though they lived in the north.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
I mean, hello, look at me. Dark hair, dark eyes.
Yeah, you're so Viking.
I'm such a Viking, babe.
You're such a Viking this episode.
When her and Bjorn are fighting and she first calls Lean's name. So whenever they want to like activate their god power, they have to basically speak the name of that god to kind of awaken the magic. Page 26. I saw it as though time had slowed, knew the force of the blow would shatter the shield and sever my arm, knew that I'd smell my own burned flesh, my own scorched blood. My courage wavered, then failed me. Lean! I gasped out the name forbidden to me all my life. Protect me! And then it was like, whoosh, magic, shield. And Bjorn went flying.
Not only did he go flying, he went through a fucking tree trunk, it said.
Yep.
He went through a tree!
And he was like, what? And
I just
was
pictured
like,
one of those
"What?"
cartoons where, like, the Roadrunner goes through the tree. And it's, like, just the shape of the body.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Bjorn.
I love the whole god aspect, and like we were saying with the magical realism, it's like it's not like they have this delusional belief in the gods. Like the the powers manifest in very real and tangible ways to prove the god's existence. And then throughout the book, there are certain rituals that they do for the gods in which sometimes they actually see their apparitions or whatever.
The gods have to give the mother a drop of their blood at the moment of conception, whether they are participating
the sex
or not. But they can participate in the sex.
Yeah.
They don't have to, but they can.
So a lot of parents, I'm talking like the Vikings. The parents will, before they copulate, will invite a god to their, like they'll pray before sex and invite whoever god wants to show up to their session and hope for a god-blessed child.
Or they just show up, but they can participate in this. They can mingle with humans. And even in this book, you encounter a lot of kind of mythical creatures like the specter, which is kind of like a guide. But there's like the like zombies in the mountain.
Draug, yeah. The Draug. Page 129, and I just wrote down a specter. It's so funny that all of our books have these connections and synchronicities because in Phantasma, that's what Ophelia and her father was a specter. And I'm like, we just read Phantasma. It's just like funny, all these like connections that our books seem to always have.
Like,
Page 129, Freya sees this hooded figure, but nobody else can. She says, "Do any of you see that hooded figure? The embers, the smoke?" Confusion radiated across our party as everyone looked to where I pointed, shaking their heads. Nothing. Yet the horses seemed aware, all of them snorting and stomping, their ears pinned flat. "A specter," Snorri breathed. "Perhaps even one of the gods having stepped onto the mortal plane. Speak to him, Freya."
So what happens in this universe is that the Jarl Snorri, Bjorn's father, he heard the prophecy 20 years ago about the shield maiden. He's been looking for her all of this time, and now he has her. So his plan is to marry her and become the person who basically owns her and to use her to unite Scotland, and he will be the ultimate king, the king of all the Vikings.
Unite Scotland under one banner, a king, not just a jarl. Because he interprets the prophecy to mean that whoever's in control of the shield maiden will unite Scotland under a king, and he wants to be that king. But the thing is so does everyone else. So the second her identity is discovered, everyone's coming for her.
And now now that everybody knows who has her, they don't want him to be king.
Yeah. They're like, we don't even need to take her alive. Like, they're like, even if someone just kills her, like, that would be fine because we just don't want Snorri at the helm of all of us.
So Snorri, though, he doesn't care about any of this because he believes that it is his destiny. The prophecy is not really about her. It's about him. It's about the person who wields the shield maiden. And he believes that he's divinely chosen to wield Freya. So he doesn't even care about Freya or treat her well or even like her. He kind of treats her like a bag of potatoes.
Because she's an object to him, not a person.
Yes.
Like, she is the object to get what he wants. She is essentially his ring of power. And that's about
and even her existence is for him. I was the one who is supposed to be divine because I own you. So he already has a wife, Freya. He's like, I'm going to take you as a wife. You're going to be my second wife.
And his wife is called Ylva. And also backstory, she's also his second wife, because another reason why Snorri thinks that this prophecy was for him, the seer who saw this vision, this prophecy, was his wife Bjorn's mother.
Well, they weren't married.
Were they not?
No.
I thought they were married.
They just slept together. And she had she had Bjorn. Yeah.
Right, but Bjorn was his firstborn.
Yeah, but they weren't married.
They weren't.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No, because she's just their vulva. And if you didn't know, the word vulva in Old Norse means basically witch or seer or someone who has direct communication with the gods or can tell the future.
And it's spelled Volva.
Yes, but it's pronounced vulva.
Like a Volvo? Not like a vulva.
No, but it's spelled with the A at the end of vulva. That's how you pronounce it.
With an O at vulva, not vulva.
It still sounds like vulva.
I know.
It doesn't matter how you say that, how you phrase it.
I mean, I'm sure we're both saying it different, but it's like it doesn't sound. It sounds the same.
Sounds like vulva. So the vulva. So Bjorn's mom is a great big vulva. A very powerful vulva.
And she's dead, by the way.
Yes.
At this point in time. She died when Bjorn was but a lad. And we find out more of the details about that one later.
That later on in the conversation.
Too early. So along with this prophecy, there's something about who will protect the shield maiden, and Snorri interprets that to mean Bjorn. So he also not only is like tying Freya to him, but he's also putting Bjorn in charge of her safety, like day and night, basically be her babysitter.
Yes.
And on page 75, this is after the wedding, and Freya asks him, page 75, do you believe what your father said is true about you? About me, that you're destined to keep me safe? All the laughter faded from Bjorn's eyes and my heart sank. No, Freya. Believe what you will, but please don't believe that. And when he said that, I was like, what's his end game here?
Yeah.
So, and we'll get to it, but through most of the book, I was like, Bjorn is up to something. I don't know what it is yet, but I feel like he knows a lot more than he's saying, and he has a different agenda than Snorri, but we just don't know what it is yet.
At first, I thought it was very insta-love, but it's really not, because Bjorn's fascination with Freya is because she's the shield maiden. And we find that out later on, why exactly that is, that he's like following her around and everything. And it is kind of insta-love, like they just kind of like fall for each other very quickly. But it's his like instant connection with her there's a more of a reason to that we find out later.
Yeah, well, and I thought that a little bit too, but I at least, and in contrast with Onyx Storm, where I was like, there's no scenes of them together and building a bond. They spend a lot of time together, having conversations and getting to know one another.
I really enjoyed their banter and their dialogue. I thought it was very like quid pro quo. It was very...
Yeah. It's not quite
cute.
Enemies to lovers. It's like annoyances to lovers, because he is super put off about needing to be the one to take care of Freya, because he thinks Snorri is full of shit. He doesn't want that job.
I have a line here that he says, "You're grasping, father, seeing connections that don't exist to explain that which cannot be explained." Like he's telling his dad, like, you're just looking for things to fulfill like parts of the prophecy at this point, and I shouldn't have to babysit her or teach her anything or be her personal bodyguard.
Yeah, he's like, don't make me a part of this. And then it's like a confirmation bias that you're seeing all these connections, like you were saying. And so he also intimates that like Freya is saying, like, I'm losing my freedom because I don't have a choice in this. And he's basically saying, I feel that same way. Like, you think I want to be tied to you? Like, I'm going to go have one night of freedom while I can. Bye. I'm going to go get drunk.
Well, before any of this happens, before they even get married, they have this like ceremony with the witches, with the with the vulva. And because when you have been given a drop of blood from the gods, that there is a ceremony of types where the god has to choose whether to claim you or to kill you. Like, are you worthy of my mark? And so they have like a ceremony, and the god comes and sometimes enters your body and gives you a mark. The the mark of the god that whose blood you have inside of you, if you're deemed worthy. If not,
Like a tattoo.
Yeah, it's like a tattoo.
Made of blood.
Inked on the skin.
Featured in blood, you say?
So they hook her up to the thing, and it ends up being just a complete shit show. Like, she just is freaking out. Stuff's happening to her. She's screaming. She's having these really trippy visions of her body being torn apart, and Bjorn can see it for some reason. And he goes in there.
Not only does she see it, but she feels it too.
Yeah.
She feels the pain of being ripped in half. And like, she can literally look down and see her heart beating inside of her chest. Like, she is ripped open.
And Bjorn stops the ritual or whatever, but she ends up having 2 marks on her. One on her hand, right? Mm-hmm. A shield on her hand. And a second one, which I wonder why.
I wonder why. And they're like, what's a second mark? We've never seen this.
And we find out later that mark is the mark of the second god who marked her, which is, this is like never happened before. Ever. But it's Hel, the goddess from Helheim. Technically, she's the first with a drop of blood of Lean and a drop of blood from Hel. Because Hel also doesn't ever do it. But her parents had a wicked 3-way with Hel.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. They had a 3-way with Hel. And then
But they didn't realize it was... But they didn't realize it was because she was in disguise.
It doesn't
remember?
Matter. It doesn't matter.
But that's context.
What do you mean? No, they had a wicked 3-way with her. The 3 of them did it.
But she appeared to them as a different god. They didn't realize.
So?
It's part of it. It's part of the reveal later.
They still had a 3-way with them. Why do you seem so confused about this?
I'm not confused. I'm just saying, like, that's just like a snippet of like the whole situation that we discover at the end of the book.
Yes, but she is a daughter of Hel and a daughter of Lean. And
but we don't find out the second one until the very end of the book. And the whole book, they're just like confused.
I do think that we should bring it up though, because I've got all these clues written down about it that we're going to want to talk about along the way.
And then they think, because they've never seen that mark, that tattoo, because no god has ever given that before. So they think the reason that the tattoo wasn't completed was because Bjorn interrupted the ritual, but that wasn't the case.
And Bjorn's very attentive to her. Like, he's always aware of what's going on with her and making sure that she's eating and taking her medicine. And he really does seem to come from a place of caring, though, even if it's something he feels like he's obligated to do. He doesn't treat her poorly. Guy. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's a good guy. Also, his nickname for her, part of the prophecy said that her name would be Born in Fire. And when she grabs his fire axe and throws it during her like god reveal party, Snorri also takes that to mean, like, oh, it's proving that this is her because she was born in fire, like the fire was part of it. But then later Bjorn ends up calling her Freya Born in Fire, and immediately I was like, oh, like stands with a fist.
I thought that was such a weird nickname. I hated that.
I did too. Do you want to hear? I have a list of his other nicknames he came up before he landed on Born in Fire. Would you like to hear them?
Sure.
His first attempts. So on page 36, he at first called her the Shield Maiden, and she said, "Don't call me that." "You're right," he said. "It's not original. I shall think of something better. Perhaps Freya One Hand, or Freya Axe Thief, or Freya Scorched Palm."
So weird.
And then on page 40, he calls her Freya Charhand. So Born in Fire is better than all of those, but I feel like it was okay every once in a while, but I feel like it got a little overused.
Yeah, it was too much. I actually thought it was kind of cringy.
Yeah.
The Born in Fire.
So you're finally on the same page with me on the nicknames for once.
Yeah, for this one I am. But Born in Fire, it's just too many words. It's like a mouthful of words. I don't like it.
But it's also like culturally appropriate, because that's kind of like in that vein of Viking type stuff. Like, oh, you're so-and-so, born of fire, kind of like Daenerys, breaker of chains, mother of dragons, you know, that whole, like...
She's really named for the god Freya. Like, because she's named after the god, so, like, that's part of the prophecy, too, like, someone who's named for the gods. Freya, the goddess of beauty, love, fertility, and gold. You know what I really thought was super annoying? And I think this is annoying in every book that I read this in, and I see it a lot, especially in fantasy, when they spell the word ass, arse. I don't like thinking the word arse when I'm saying, I just want to say ass. Like, why can't we just say it? Like, why is it going to be like, well, he hit me right in the arse?
Well, because the Norse didn't know that word, Lita.
I don't like the arse. I don't like the arse word. So that's not really Danielle. This is a common thing. Okay.
But arse is like culturally and thematically appropriate.
Yeah, that spelling is a pain in the ass. I don't like thinking it.
It's a pain in the arse.
It's a pain in the arse.
The arse.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, I just write ass. That's what my brain just immediately thinks. Like, oh my God, you're trying so hard to be cool right now. Just write ass.
But you know that if she had written ass, everybody would be like, they didn't know that word in Viking. Like, that's not the word they used.
You know who wouldn't have thought that? Me.
I probably would have thought that, though, and I would have been like,
wow, she should have made that arse. No. Anyway, it's just, I don't like thinking the word arse.
That's interesting.
Oh, me arse.
It does sound dumb. I'll give you to that. Even like there's times where she's like, kiss my ass, Bjorn.
Yeah, but she says arse.
My arse. Kiss my arse. I have a fun arse quote later. So after they get married and they're going to go consummate the marriage or whatever, she's like, oh, fuck, I have to have sex with another gross old guy that I don't want to have sex with. And they kind of...
bring on the wiener, I guess.
So they go in there and Ylva goes in there too because she's the first wife or whatever to kind of like be the witness or whatever. And she's like, I can't stand it. I thought I could watch you take another woman, but I can't. And she's like, well, you know, nobody else has to know but the three of us. Like, we can be married in name only and just never touch each other. Like, it'll more or less amount to the same thing. So Ylva is a witch and she can cast spells. So in order to
she draws runes too.
Mm-hmm. So she has power. So in order to seal this oath that the three of them are going to take, she makes Freya swear an oath to Snorri that's like separate from the marriage vows, but like specific to like not revealing this part of their bargain. But right when it happened, I was like, oh.
Yes, I know exactly what you're going to say.
The clever wording of this oath.
Yes.
It's going to apply to Bjorn instead of Snorri later. Page 79.
Yes.
Ylva says, Freya, she said, repeat after me. I vow to serve no man not of this blood. If I said these words, I'd be bound for the rest of my life, or at least to the rest of Ylva's, but the alternative was so much worse. I vow to serve no man not of this blood. And then she says, I vow allegiance to him who is of this blood. I vow to protect at all cost him who is of this blood. I vow to speak no word of this bargain except him who is of this blood. But there's no specific name, so I'm like, ooh, oath loophole, because later she does reveal it to Bjorn, and she's like, I don't know how I was able to do that, but hey, that worked. Also, I thought that Snorri and Ylva said my love so excessively. Like, every sentence was like, well, see here, my love. Oh, I know, my love. But listen, you're right, my love. Did you notice that?
Well, maybe it's they like it. They're very in love.
Apparently.
But I made a note of that, too, because I was immediately like, oh, that is worded so nicely. So that it could encompass Bjorn, obviously. Because you know he's your guy from the very beginning. And he's right there from the very beginning. You know, he's within the first chapter, you're meeting Bjorn. which I also really liked. I liked the pacing of this book.
Me too.
It was entertaining.
It was really entertaining. There was never a lull or a plateau in the action or in the movement of the story. And I love that it managed to be tropey without feeling too tropey. Because you have the forced marriage trope, you have the forced proximity trope, chosen one tropes, enemies to lover trope. They're all there.
Yeah.
But it's in the best way. Snorri's very delusional belief in the prophecy is the reason that he's forcing Bjorn into Freya's orbit when it wouldn't have been a thing before. And even Bjorn is like resistant to it and doesn't want it. So they're being forced by outside sources, but in a way that makes sense in the story and in the world. So
right. So it's the wedding night. They make this pact and they say, okay, well, you don't have to sleep with me. You just go down here under the ground in this hole and we'll fuck on top of it. And so it's goes
like a
in
secret
there.
Passageway outside.
And she's like, just stay right here and don't move while we have sex. And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this. So she just like goes through the tunnel and goes out and is like, I'm just going to go on a walk while they bone. And so that's what she does. And very quickly, things already start to escalate because immediately everybody knows that she's with Snorri. And they all start to come for her. All of the different jarls and in the surrounding areas, they're like, we either need to go and get the shield maiden or kill the shield maiden so that we don't have to worry about this anymore. Mm-hmm. And it starts on the wedding night. That's how soon it starts.
And she gets out of the tunnel and immediately, of course, she runs into Bjorn and he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I don't know. What are you doing here? And she's like, oh, well, he and Ylva are having some time together and I didn't want to be there for that. And he was like, oh, twice in one night. Didn't think you still had it in him. Good for dad. And then they see then there's an attack coming and Bjorn, even at that point, is trying to get her to run away. He's like, just leave. They'll just assume that you were kidnapped or killed by these guys. Like, take your chance and leave. And she's like, well, shit, I just swore a blood oath, so that's inconvenient. But then she also feels already a big responsibility for the people.
Well, she's also afraid that her family will be attacked or hurt.
Yes, because Snorri definitely intimates that, like, if she doesn't toe the line the way that he wants her to, that he will kill her family, her brother and her mother.
Yes.
So she decides to stay and protect the people, which is good that she does, because while she's sneaking around, she ends up seeing a sneak attack coming from the water and manages to save a lot of people.
Gnut.
Canute.
Canute comes to attack them, and he wants to kill the shield maiden. But she says, nah, because I'm going to climb on the roof and then do some big, like, Jason Bourne jump to the next roof and then burn all your ships down. So her and Bjorn burn down the fleets. They go into the river and swim up and catch the boats on fire, and he uses Tyr's fire to help with that. And they save Halsar, their home, temporarily.
Yay. Temporarily.
Yay.
Canute will be back.
That was a very exciting scene.
That was a cool scene. And I liked how Freya, like, even though she doesn't have a ton of training, like, as a warrior or anything like that, like, she's brave and, you know, she's badass in her own way.
She has a real Viking spirit. She's like, I don't care. Like, I'm just going to go out at 150%, even if I have no idea what I'm doing in any battle. To Valhalla! Valhalla!
Also, an important thing to note that we have not yet with Bjorn, he is only recently back with Snorri because King Harald kidnapped him like decades ago during the last war and has basically been using Bjorn as a hostage to keep his side of things. So they're in Scotland, and the other King Halsar is in Nordland, and they're rivals. So Bjorn has actually grown up in Nordaland as a hostage to King Harald, and only recently was,
I think it's Harold.
quote, well, the audiobook narrator pronounced it Harald.
That's weird because it's spelled Harold.
Well, yeah, but it's Norse, so you have to pronounce everything with a rolly R. Harald.
Do you have to?
You don't, but Harold.
King Harold.
So he's only been recently reunited with Snorri.
Not only has he been gone all this time, but since he's been gone, Ylva and Snorri have had a son, Leif, who Ylva wants to inherit the Jarldom from. But Bjorn is first in line.
Yeah.
And he also is a child of the gods, which automatically elevates his status amongst the civilian peasants, or whatever you want to call them.
Ylva's not that happy about that. So she really is resentful of Bjorn.
She's very vocal about it, and they argue a lot.
Yeah.
And then Ylva also argues a lot with Freya because she treats Freya like crap.
Yeah, because she doesn't want any competition. So I have a note for this. Bjorn calls out Ylva for lying about being happy about his return. Page 138. Fine, she snarled. I do not wish for you to inherit. You were gone too long and are more of a Nordlander than a Skalander. The people deserve to be ruled by one of their own, by a legitimate son. Enough! Snorri shouted. You will both cease this pointless quarrel. Bjorn didn't seem to have even heard his father, only lowered his head to Ylva's level and said, I heard you once said the same thing to my mother.
Oh.
And at that point I wrote down, I think that Ylva either killed Bjorn's mother or had a role in it. I wasn't right about that, but I was like getting the what is her deal? She's suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I just didn't like her. I just thought that she was not a very nice person. Yeah.
Well, and it also seems like, I don't know if her love for Snorri is genuine or if she just is very good at manipulating
I think
him.
it is. I think she's very jealous. She's a very jealous wife. Like, she wants him and she doesn't want anyone else to have him ever. Like, I'm sure that sometimes in this
But is that more about him or about the power, though? I don't know. I just feel like she's very manipulative.
Well, I always felt like they were very, affectionate towards one another. Both of them
they definitely
were.
are. I think that on her end, it's more of an act just so that she can control him. That's what I think. We'll see.
She can't control him. He does what he wants. If that's the case, she's failed.
She does, though, because she is always in his ear and now my love, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, fine, you're right, wife.
Yeah, but sometimes she does things in Freya's favor and Bjorn's favor because she thinks it's what's best.
That is true. She does do that towards the end.
She doesn't always make terrible decisions. I don't think she really wants to hurt Freya or anything like that. She just doesn't. She's just annoyed a lot. She's always annoyed. She's always PMSing 24/7. She's just ugh, I don't know. I'm going through menopause and the heat flashes and I hate all of you. And why isn't my son in charge?
Yeah.
Leaf!
I think it's actually pronounced life.
Well, I'm going to say leaf because I like it.
Okay.
Leaf! So after this big battle, they're like, ha, huzzah, we have won the battle by burning the ships. And soon after this, Freya sees the specter. Nobody can see the specter but Freya. The specter says to Freya, she, the unfated, the child of Lean, she who was born in fire, must sacrifice to the gods on the mount in the first night of the full moon, else her thread will be cut short, the future that was foreseen unwoven. So they're basically telling her she has to make a sacrifice to the gods.
Or her wings are getting clipped.
On the full moon. Or her life will be cut short, basically. And her fate will be unwoven. Which I didn't really understand because one thing we haven't really touched on is that there's the fated and the unfated. Okay. The Nords weave the threads of life and the fates of every human. But the people that have a drop of God's blood in them are known as unfated, and they can weave their own fates. So their fates
they're
are not
bound
set in
by the
stone.
Nords. Yeah.
Yes. Freya is unfated.
Yeah.
She can do whatever she wants. Like, there's a prophecy there, but there's a lot that can change. I think there's a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah. Well, and I think that part of it was also kind of similar to that first ritual where they had to, make sure she was claimed by her god to be able to move forward. Like, the next part of that ritual is to make the sacrifice to, like, make sure that not only you've been claimed by your god, but that they've accepted you. Like, okay, we're claiming you, but now prove yourself worthy.
Well, what they're doing is, what they're referring to about the mountain, that is Fjalltindr, which is the sacred temple on the very top of the mountain known as Hamar. Every 9 years, there was a gathering that drew people from near and far to pay tribute to the gods and offer their sacrifices. So this, like, sacrifice that they're referring to on the full moon has not happened in the past 9 years. And she references that, like, I haven't been of age to even go and make a sacrifice in Fjalltindr, because this is the first time that I've been of age when the cycle has come around.
That's right.
So they're basically saying you can't miss this cycle. You have to go and make your sacrifice now. Then the next time for her to make it would not be for another 9 years.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I actually didn't know that today when I was doing some research. I had written down to research a little bit about Fjalltindr just for the podcast, and that's what I found. And I was like, oh, well, that makes more sense, because I had kind of missed it myself if it was in there.
Yeah.
But that makes more sense when it comes to the urgency of getting there in time.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just wait till the next full moon? This only happens once every 9-10 years.
Yeah. And so, and that brings us to the next leg of the journey. So because they're on a time crunch, they're like, we'll never get her to the mountain in time. And then Snorri's like, there is one way. And everybody's like, dun, dun, dun. No.
Not that way.
Not that way. Not that pass. And that whole sequence definitely, like, they go into there's these tunnel in the mountain, secret passageway up to the top of the mountain, kind of a la Lord of the Rings. And it was very much giving that scene in Lord of the Rings with the undead army, the Draug.
To get to the top of the mountain in time, they've got to avoid the pass because there's a lot of people expecting them to go up the mountain. There's a mole within the clan.
Mm-hmm.
And so they decide that they have to go through the mountain to get there in time. This is a very dangerous path because this particular mountain is filled with the Draug, which is like a zombie, supercharged, skeletal
undead.
The undead that guard the treasure inside of the mountain. It ends up being just Freya and Bjorn who are going to go in and do it.
And to be clear, nobody survives this typically, and that's why people avoid it, because no one who goes in there ever comes back out. They don't get killed, and then they become a Draug, and and they can't enter Valhalla and are cursed to just be in that zombie state for eternity. So people do not go in there. But Snorri does not give a shit. He's like, now, take her!
Take her! Because this is what the gods say, that she'll be fine. And I don't give a shit. That's
the whole time I was like, I call you to fulfill your oath!
Page 155. This is about the Draug in the mountain. And this is Bjorn. It is forbidden to carry a weapon through the temple borders or to take a life not in sacrifice to the gods. Bjorn answered, as the story goes, a Jarl coveted the wealth of Fjalltindr and sought to take it. He and his trusted warriors came for the ritual, and in the celebration that followed, they stole much of the gold and silver that had been left as offerings and fled with it down the path. One by one, they were struck down by divine force, made to bear the burden of their master's curse, and guard the tunnels until the end of days. Most believe that the treasure they stole still remains within the caverns, and many have attempted to steal it for themselves. None have ever returned, and it is said that any who touch the treasure of Fjalltindr are cursed to become Draug themselves. So if you see anything valuable on the steps, best leave it alone.
Touch nothing but the lamp.
Touch nothing but the lamp. Very Aladdin. Yes. Abu. No.
Infidels.
You have touched the forbidden treasure.
Now you shall never again see the light of day.
Anyways, so it's just they're supposed to take. There's these people called skalds in this universe who can take your memories that you've seen of an event and create a song to sing to the masses so that they can see, and the magic of the song will let you see the same thing that the person saw. So Snorri sends his skald with them to go into the mountain. Is it Steinen?
Steinen.
Oh my gosh, the whole time I just said sternum. I didn't much care for Sternum. I didn't like her that much. I thought she was kind of a bitch.
No, she was, for sure.
But Sternum's like, I gotta go in there with you. And Bjorn's like, nah, man, you're not, though. Because you're gonna die if you come in here with us. Like, we're blessed by the gods or whatever. You need to just stay out here.
You literally have no chance, yeah.
Yeah, so they go into this, and it's just winding stairs. And I kept thinking about Lord of the Rings when they're going up the stairs, and it's like the side of a mountain. And
the tunnel.
The tunnels. And it looks like 5 million steps. Like, how did they even get to the top alive without their legs given out? You know?
Yep. 100%.
Anyway, and of course, just like Pippin, Bjorn knocks over a cup or something, and the Draug come a-running.
And they're like, we will kill you now.
Yeah, and the descriptions of the Draug are super gross. Their forms are illuminated by strange green lights throughout their skeletal. Scraps of leather and armor hang from their bones. Their jaws are gaping, and they all scream all the time, and they're rotting flesh. And it's just... so accurate. Perfect. And then Pippin knocks the bucket down the well, and all the Draug come running. They've got to fight back to back.
But then they activate their magical weapons, and they miraculously survive the first wave. And they're like, okay, well, let's rest up because they'll be back for sure. And so when they get towards the end of the tunnel, they're like, we'll definitely kill you now, son of Tyr. And then Bjorn basically is like, I challenge you to a duel. And if I win, you have to let us pass.
He doesn't just challenge all of them. He challenges the Jarl of the zombies, the Draug.
Yeah. The Draug leader. And he's like, you and me, mano a mano. And if I win, you have to let us pass. And
I thought that was a very suspenseful battle because they described this, the Jarl of the Draug, to be gigantic. Like, think like a troll to a human.
Yeah. And they can't be penetrated by any mortal weapon. So Bjorn makes this deal pretty much relying on the fact that he has Tyr's axe, because the fire from his axe can kill the Draug. And that's kind of what scares them off the first time. They're like, oh shit, this weapon can actually kill us. But then when they kind of finish making up that bargain, he adds in at the last second, oh yeah, and by the way, only mortal weapons allowed. Psych. And he's like, hey, no fair. And
Freya figures out, oh, I'll just use like my lean powers to pick up the axe this time instead of just not using any protection, and then I can
chuck the axe.
I can destroy him with the axe.
Finish him.
Then soon after that, Freya curses all of them and they all disappear. And that's another breadcrumb because the person who's in charge of the Draug is Hel. She's the commander of the Draug. And so since she's got the blood...
Yeah, and she's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, she's got the blood of Hel in her. So she doesn't really... They don't really understand why all the Draug just drop dead when she commands them to. But they do. And that's why. But we don't know that. We don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet. I have a note about her magic and the way that she's starting to learn how to project it and do different things. Because so far she's only used it to protect herself. It's never occurred to her that she could shield anybody else with it, like Bjorn. Bjorn was testing his magic against Freya's, like as they're practicing, and it repelled his axe. Her shield did. But then he tries to touch her magic with his hand. Page 136. Instead of repelling his touch, my magic allowed Bjorn's hand to sink into it like water. I felt the moment he touched the pot itself, because she was holding a pot. A gentle pressure, whereas the impact of the axe, I'd felt nothing. The sensation moved up my arm and down into my core, as though he touched not magic and metal, but my bare skin, and I shivered. You get what you give, he murmured, then lifted his eyes from the magic to meet mine. Or perhaps more accurately, you give what you get. We touched magics.
We touched magics.
Whoa.
So cold for Nick.
So hot. Sorry, I'm punchy, guys.
Punchy? I hardly know her. That doesn't even make sense. Okay, punch me. Punch me? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Oh.
Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Mercy to the fallen. Oh. I liked their little time that they have in the mountain. I like the organic creation of that time for them that they got alone.
Again, that forced proximity, but alone time. Yep. And at this point, she's starting to realize how attracted she is. She's like, oh no, I'm catching feelings.
And also, Bjorn is super sweet all the time. Yeah. On page 173, he says, the sweet, famous line, "It's hard to keep one's wits when faced with a woman as beautiful as the sight of shore to a man who has been lost at sea."
Oh, that's such a good line. Such a good line.
Yes, pine for me.
Take me, Bjorn. So they make it through the tunnel. They get to Fjalltindr.
They have a little battle out front.
Because other people have heard, they're basically up there waiting to ambush them before, because once you get through the gates to the temple, no weapons are allowed. So it's a very neutral zone. No one's it's a sanctuary. So they're trying to get to them before they can cross through the gates. But in order to cross through the gates, you have to submit to the will of the gods, every single one. So there's a robed, hooded figure at the top being like, do you accept the will of this god and this god?
And there's a lot of them. God?
And there's so many. And she's like, yes, hurry up. And Bjorn's trying to fight everybody off while this is happening. And then finally she completes it and she gets yanked through the barrier, the no weapon barrier. And Bjorn's like, hold her back. I'm going to do this. And she's like, no, let me help him. And she thinks he's going to die. And then she gets free of the guys holding her back, and she grabs onto Bjorn and uses her magic to shield him from dying.
When you were saying all of that, all I was thinking was, why am I thinking about a pickle right now? And then I realized that I was eating a pickle when I was reading that. association. I was like, why the fuck am I thinking about a pickle?
You're so random.
And it was like one of those big ones, you know.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was a big pickle.
Did you get your whole mouth around it?
No, it took me a really long time to eat. That's why I was thinking. No. I thought that whole scene, once they get into Fjalltindr, or
Fjalltindr.
Fjalltindr, once they get in there, I thought that was an interesting concept. You know, you meet King Harold, which is somebody you've been hearing about. And I thought the idea of all of them being in this one place, like all these different enemies, where they had to be peaceful, was kind of an interesting concept. So you get to meet all these characters you wouldn't otherwise normally meet. And it's, you know, it's kind of like the watering hole in The Lion King, or like Switzerland, just completely neutral ground. To kill someone here would be to insult the gods, and they would smite you with great fury.
Yeah. You would be smote.
You would be smoten. You can't fight or kill anyone there. And so you kind of get this opportunity to meet these other players without the threat of imminent battle or death. You know, it's just kind of but there's still a little bit of danger there, because shit could still happen. You know, you never know.
Yeah, it's not 100%. I meant to say this earlier, but when I was like, what is Bjorn up to? I do remember thinking from the get-go, like at the very beginning of the book, because of his relationship with Snorri and how strained it felt, and he didn't seem super psyched to be back, I was like, I feel like his allegiance lies with Harald. And I was like, I think that he thinks of him as his real family. Because anytime Freya mentions, like, it must have been so hard for you to be separated from your family. And he's like, not really. And she's like, were they so mean to you? And he was like, not really. And then when Harold and Snorri are kind of like screaming at each other and arguing and stuff like that, and he's like, you stole my son. And he's like, and I raised him like my own and treated him better than you ever did, you bitch. And he's like, and you killed my seer. And he's like, no, I didn't. Like, you just blamed that on me and then like literally turned everyone against me. So there's definitely more backstory there than what we know at first.
I didn't think that about Bjorn. I didn't think that his allegiance was off. I thought that Bjorn himself seemed a little lost. Okay, like he had that Greyjoy thing going on, you know. He was taken away from his home. He hasn't really found his place. His mother, his stepmom, is all pissed off and wants her son to be in charge. And he's just like, you know, I'm just trying to survive, man. I'm just trying to find my place. That's what I thought about Bjorn. I didn't really think that his allegiance was wavering, that he was just really frustrated with his father. Like, oh, this piece of crap. Like, he really didn't seem to like his dad, but it was like with the Vikings, though, it's all about loyalty. You know, It doesn't really matter that he doesn't like his father. He follows he's the Jarl. You know,
right. So I wasn't questioning his like loyalty to Snorri. I just think that his heart was with Harold, because he didn't seem like, whenever Freya asked him questions about it, he didn't seem upset or bitter at being away. He seemed more upset and bitter to be home. That was just my impression of it.
Well, when they first meet King Harold, Bjorn is really quiet. He doesn't really say anything. We get another clue about Freya's connection to Hel. She says to King Harold in Bjorn's defense, any man who uses a child to hide from battle is a coward who will never see Valhalla, and it will be Hel who takes you in death. And no sooner had the words been spoken, the ground beneath our feet quivered. Everyone in the hall started an alarm. She can, with the drop of Hel's blood, you can really curse people, like curse them to Hel, even on the spot.
Right, and she doesn't know this.
Yes, she doesn't know this. So just by her saying that to him, it kind of invoked Hel's gift, or the rumblings of it.
Oh, and also during this time up in neutral zone, there's still a danger to Freya, because even if they can't kill her, they could still take her. They could still kidnap her in the dead of night. So it's like, you go to this room, like Bjorn, don't leave her side. And she wards a room. Ylva does. She wards a room for Bjorn, and
then they go to have the sacrifice. Yes. And they do shrooms. They all do shrooms.
And they do the sacrifice. They sacrifice the animals and the goats.
So, like,
and the
they do,
bulls.
like, hallucinatory, a couple times within this book, they do, like, hallucinatory drugs to kind of invoke a vision from the gods, which is probably not that uncommon to do things like that back then.
Yep. And like, oh, maybe the gods will appear to you. And then she was like, and then like a group of gods appeared in robes, and she was like, wow, this tea has really hit me. And Bjorn's like, no, they're here for real. And the gods showed up to accept the sacrifice and all that stuff. So
and that doesn't happen. Like, the gods, like, literally showing up, like, in person.
It's an extremely rare sighting. But everybody sees it.
Yeah, and they refer to her, they bless her. They bless Freya, and they give you another hint there that she has a second god's blood. They call her a child of two bloods.
Mm-hmm.
During the sacrifice.
And everyone else takes it to mean she has the blood of mortals and the blood of gods. But immediately I was like, ooh, we got two gods going on. That's
right. Yeah, I know. I thought that too. I was like, okay, there it is. At that point, I was like, definitely there's something else going on there.
Yeah, and with the second tattoo that she had that was like unclear, I was like, yeah, here we go. We'll find out more about that. So, but she sneaks out.
Well, after she fiddles her bean for a while.
You have such a way with words, Lita. Well, she's like looking across the room at Bjorn being all half naked and asleep, and she's like, oh man, I would just like once love to enjoy sex with someone. And she's
oh my god.
So she pleasures herself, and she's right on the edge, and then what stops her?
He gets up
and walks
off. And she's
off.
like, oh god.
She's like, oh shit, did I say anything out loud?
Did he hear me? Yeah.
And he goes out, and she, even though she's supposed to not go out, and Ylva has warded the room against anyone who would do her harm, she sneaks out to kind of follow and see where Bjorn went, but she doesn't catch up to him. But she ends up seeing another interaction between King Harald and a cloaked figure who she assumes is Ylva, and thinks that Ylva is the one betraying them to Harold, and makes a bunch of wild.
But it's not her.
It's not her.
But she thinks it's her, and she does think it for a pretty good reason. You know, the person that is talking to King Harold, she can't see their face, but they say something along the lines of, I'll do anything to protect my son. And she,
or like a mother would do anything to protect their son.
Yeah, so she obviously thinks that she's talking about Leif, and obviously she puts two and two together and says, well, she's trying to get rid of Bjorn, and I've got to warn him. But it wasn't Ylva. It was Bjorn's mother.
It was
Bjorn's mother.
It was Bjorn's, but I will. Okay, is that too early to talk about?
No, I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but we'll talk about it a little bit later.
So you know who I thought it was the whole time? I was thinking it was either Steinen or Ingrid.
I did too. I thought it was her, Steinen.
Did you?
I thought she was the spy the whole time.
Me too. And my backup thought was Ingrid, her best friend / Gears, her brothers. Gear and Ingrid are just pieces of shit now.
They're terrible. They're terrible. Every member
really
of her family is terrible. When she's done seeing the spy do whatever is happening, Bjorn kind of encounters her, and he's like, what the hell are you doing out of the area you're supposed to be in? And she's like, well, because no one was in there. And so let's make out now to hide from the guards. So that's what they do.
That was literally the thing I was going to mention next. It's my next note. I was like, oh my God, their first kiss as a cover. Yes!
The wordage actually had me laughing out loud on page 226. This is during their hot makeout session.
Because, to be clear, there's a lot of revelers around. Like, there's, like, orgies happening everywhere because they're just partying and everybody's getting drunk and having sex with each other. So, making out is them blending in. For context.
He tasted of mead, and with every inhale, I scented pine and snow
And fjord.
and wind over the fjord.
Yes. I thought of that later. She's like, and he smelled of pine and fjord. I'm like, let's add that to our book boyfriend cologne line. Pine and fjord. Divinity.
Pine, snowy pine trees and wind over the fjord.
I have one on page 227, the next page.
Ooh.
Yeah, their plan almost backfires when the guards are just pervs who end up wanting to watch. And because they're all like wearing like ceremonial masks, so they're all like looking around specifically for Freya. And she says, page 227, hiding my face would only raise suspicions. So instead, I trusted that the mask would do its duty and reared my back, my shoulders slamming against the tree. Shut up and fuck me, I gasped loudly. Both warriors gaped at my breasts rather than my masked face, and I silently thanked the predictability of men. But they didn't leave. And she was like, oh shit. So at that point, Bjorn rips his mask off and he's like, do you mind? Fuck off. And they're like, oh, sorry. And she's like, why did you do that? And they're like, no one's going to think that I would be that stupid to cuckold my own father. That's a fun word. Cuckold.
Cuckold. Put that on the list.
But it got a little hot. And they didn't skimp on it either. Like, they were making out, yes. And she's like, okay, you got to make it believable. So she, like, rips her shirt open. Her boobs are all out. And she's hiked around his waist. It was pretty spicy.
Yeah. And she was like, come on, do it harder. What are you doing? Don't you want to convince them?
And she's like, we can keep pretending, like, if we, for cover, you know? Wink, wink.
Yar bodle.
Yar bodle.
Yar bodle.
Yar bodle?
An unlikely friendship is my note. The only woman living who claimed the title of Jarl. She's also a child of the god Seti and is able to tell the truth from a lie no matter who is speaking. I liked this character.
I liked her too. I liked her a lot. I was sad when she died.
Yeah, she's always like, she's kind of becomes like a mentor in a way. You can tell that Freya immediately has a lot of respect for her just because she's a leader of men in the society where that's not always the most common, of course. Back in the day. But indeed. I liked her.
I liked her a lot.
And I liked the idea of her being able to tell, and Freya's thinking, oh, I gotta watch my words around her. Mm-hmm. I gotta watch what I'm saying because I don't want her to think I'm deceitful. Because also, she decides to join up with Freya. The display of the gods showing up for Freya and blessing her has really inspired a lot of the people who have come for the sacrificing to join up with Snorri. Yeah. And this Jarl is one of those people. Who was the person that got thrown from the tent? There was the shield around the tent. Who was that? Because it couldn't have been Ylva.
No,
and it wasn't Bjorn's mother.
Maybe that was Steinen. Or Ingrid! I'm not quite letting go of that one. I don't know.
But I wondered that at the beginning. I was like, ah ha ha, Ylva, you dumb bitch. But obviously it wasn't her. Unless she was thinking,
for a second, I was actually
I want to
wondering
slap Freya, and then the magic was like, get out of here. It wasn't. I actually wrote this question in when I was doing my notes. I'm like, wait a minute, because I thought about it as I was doing my notes. I was like, who was it then?
No, you're right. Like, I didn't even think about that. Like, then who was the person to get repelled? See, there's another one.
There's another one.
Maybe, or Ingrid.
I got to go back and read that part now. So they go back to Hussar. Did they leave a certain way? Because they were worried once they left the city that they would be attacked, right?
Freya realizes that Halsar, their home, is at risk of being attacked because she has a vision from another specter moment and has like a vision, and she's like, we need to get back to Halsar because we're all gone, so who's there to protect it? And they're like, there's no way Canute would attack again this soon. But she's like, no, we got to get back there. And so they end up hauling ass back to Halsar to try to like make sure everybody's okay. And Bodil and her army join up with them, and they all kind of travel back together as quickly as they can. But when they get back there, they've missed the battle. It's all burned to the ground. So many people are gone and dead.
All their supplies for the winter months are gone.
Yep.
And the weather's starting to turn.
Yep. And they're like, we need to rebuild. And Snorri's like, no, fuck that. Like, that's what he wants us to do, to like waste our time doing this. Like, we're going to go take his stronghold now. So that's what they all decide to go do. And they're like, well, if we take that stronghold, then we'll have supplies, we'll have shelter for the winter.
They get back. All this has happened. People have died. People that even Bjorn is close to have died. Like the healers.
Yeah, the healer.
The healer that healed her hand is gone. She's dead.
Leave.
Snorri makes this big speech about how they need to go and take Grindill, which is the fortress
of Canute.
My note for that is Snorri is always using Freya to lead, making examples out of his divine leadership through his ownership of her, using her to rally people to what he wants them to do, and saying that he is the one who's been chosen by the gods through Freya. He's destined to be great because of Freya. She's his weapon, his tool. It starts to get difficult for Freya because not only at this point is she concerned that if she does anything out of line that it's going to affect her family, possibly even cause them to be executed in some way. But she also starts to get really attached to all of these people from Halsar. So she wants to save them. She wants to be in battle. She wants to fight. It's like a dream. It's always been a dream of hers to be a battle Viking, to go on raids.
Well, and just to protect the people who aren't able to protect themselves.
And
like,
she's excited by the idea of using her destiny for good to help people, not to hurt them. So she's like really manipulated easily by Snorri, disappointingly easily manipulated by him. And Bjorn is like, hello, you're a tool. Like, he's using you. So he says, we're going to leave right away. I don't give a shit that it's cold. I don't give a shit that it's snowing. We're going and we're taking that fortress, and we're leaving now so that we have the element of surprise. And if we take that fortress, we'll have everything we need for the winter. And it'll just be like the first step in our dominance of everything.
Yeah.
And this is my destiny. And that's what Snorri, and he's just like, sometimes it's almost like kind of like the Mad King, almost like he's almost like 100%. Delusional.
Yeah, 100%. He's thought of nothing but this for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And now it's finally happening, and he's like, I balls to the wall, like, I have to make it happen for my greatness. That's the prophecy. But he like, and even Bodil, when he's talking about how like the gods have said this about me and this is my destiny, blah, blah. She mentions, because she can tell when people are lying, she's like, he really believes it. Like, whether it's true or not, he believes it.
Yeah. He believes it as truth. Yes. I liked Bodil.
I was really sad. So she dies in that battle when they go to take Grindill. Like, they do win.
Well, before they even get there, though, you start to get to know her because they're traveling together. And I just really enjoyed her. She tells Freya that she's a passionate woman with a good heart, a woman worth following. She gives her advice, kind of like unsolicited, even if it's something that Freya doesn't want to hear. She'll say it.
Yeah. What I thought about that was it's such a great example of good writing versus not great writing. The fact that we only got Bodil for just a short snippet of time, but you already have so much of a sense of her as a character. The dialogue is well written, so you get an immediate connection between her and Freya, and you're really excited to see how that relationship will develop with just a short time. Like, she's not even in the book for very long, but she really leaves an impression. Like, that's the beauty of just really solid writing, is that you don't need 300 pages to make you care about a character. Like, we instantly cared about her. And her death actually, like, landed, and you're like, oh, no, not her.
Yeah, it was very sad. And it was, when they're traveling, she kind of helps protect Freya beside Bjorn. They're going through a lot of really wintry terrain. Snorri is being a total asshole, does not care even if Freya dies or gets frostbite. He's like, well, the gods won't let her die. That's not part of her destiny. Or whatever. Like, I don't care.
And he's like, you idiot. Like, just because she has god's blood doesn't mean she can't die immortal.
Like, she falls in a lake in through the ice and everything, and he doesn't even care about her being warm or anything. She's soaking wet. It's freezing. It's snowing.
And she does almost die.
Yes. And then she's all snuggly with Bjorn on the mountaintop.
Getting cozy with his fire. Because he's all like, kind of like Jacob, like he's like a furnace and he's just warm all the time. So he's like, come on, let's cuddle.
Oh, I know. That's what I thought about Jacob too. I was like, oh, yeah, Jacob.
And during that little snuggle fest, they're kind of just starting to admit some little, they're getting a little feely with each other.
Are you talking about when she got fingered?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he like fingered her and stuff. There was that.
Even though there's like people around.
They were sleeping. It was a sleepy time. It was sleeping time. Come on, it's like Big Brother. It's like on Big Brother.
Yeah. We're under all the furs. You don't know what's going on under there.
Show me your hands.
Bjorn confronts Freya about why she's avoiding him. Him saying stuff about like their performance kissing didn't mean anything. She admits to Bjorn that she's caught feelings for him and that kiss did mean something to her. And she's like, I understand that it was just, whatever for you. And that's my thing I got to deal with. And he's like, are you kidding me? I burn for you. I really just was so refreshed by the immediate, like, actually, no, it did mean something to me. And she's not embarrassed by it. Like, I like her saying, like, I'm going to own the truth and be like, you know what? I get that this is one-sided, but this is kind of where I'm at. So if you wouldn't mind just, like, giving me space. And he's like, oh, actually, is that what you really thought? You thought my hard-on was because of nothing? Like, I burned for you. And he grabs her and kisses her good. And then she's like, we can't do this. Because if we let it happen once, it will happen again. And we both know it. And we'll get caught and we'll be done for. Like, just stay away from me.
I'm terrible for you. I'm bad news.
Forbidden love. I'm married to your father. But then as it goes on, though, like Lean, or maybe it's Hell, is getting more frisky in her head and like kind of starting to take over. And she's like, I don't even care. She's like, I don't care. And I was like, if it's about your dad, like, he's never had me and he never will. Like, we had a bargain. And she reveals that deal that she made with Snorri in the beginning. And it's during this battle at Grindill where Freya really harnesses more of her power. And that's how they win.
Right. And Grindill's like quite a fortress. I have here, it says 3 times the size of Halsar. They also have a diminished force from their original like encampment too. Grindill was flanked to the north by a river called the Thorn. The west side overlooked a cliff, leaving the south and east side of the fortress approachable. It was also surrounded by a deep trench filled with sharpened stakes, passable only over a wooden bridge. So there's only one way to get into the fortress.
And when Bodil falls, when she dies, everybody's like, fall back. But she's so incensed and enraged. She just goes full. She really just like gets blind with rage and just starts going at everybody. Bjorn is trying to like snap her out of it. They do end up winning, but her eyes turn red. That's another synchronistic thing, that her eyes were turning red.
They just start to at this time. This is when they first start to turn red.
Yep.
Yes.
Page 332. He was silent for a long moment, then said, "Your eyes are red, Freya, same as they were when you attacked Grindill, burning with crimson fire." So
this is what I don't understand about this, because everybody at this point, they have like the siege, and Bodil gets struck by lightning. There's a daughter of Thor in the fortress, and she is
lightning
killed.
wielder, if you will.
And then she gets in there and just like bloodlust takes over, and she just starts like just like killing people one after another. But here's the thing about that. Afterwards, it said that everyone, even her own people, were like afraid of her because of what happened. And that's probably the only thing in this book that made me kind of be like, because the Vikings, the culture of the Vikings,
they're hardcore.
It was very hardcore, and that kind of performance during a battle was revered and respected in Viking culture. And yeah, it might have made people afraid of her, like, whoa, that was like crazy scary. But they look down on her because of that. And there were some times where after the battle where I feel like some of the comments that were made to her were kind of derogatory. It would have been respected.
Right, but wasn't some of that fear that she was shown or told about Grendill's people? Because like they basically absorbed Grendill's people. So like they were afraid of her because they were the ones being attacked.
Yeah, but like Ylva said some derogatory stuff to her about it. Like even Bjorn does. Even Bjorn was like, man, I just wish that you could see it the way that we saw it, the way that you were. Like, no, that would not have been frowned upon in any way by them. They would have been like, wow, that was amazing. That's what they would have been like. Yeah.
But I do think that you're right. But I think that the reason for that factors in is kind of illuminating the fact that Snorri is turning her against her own nature. Because Freya's nature is to protect, and because this other god is kind of taking over a little bit, it's making her behave uncharacteristic for herself. And I think that that's more what they're pointing out, maybe.
Yeah, but like she also wants to be like this great raider, this great like battle axe raider. Like that's something she wants to do. That's a goal that she's always had. So
well, and Bjorn says too that one of the problems about the way that she did that too was like, if I hadn't have been there saving your ass, like you were so blinded by rage and it was taking over you so completely that you didn't see the fact that you were putting yourself in danger. Like if I hadn't have been right there at your back, blocking arrows, blocking off people, like you would have died like 10 times over.
Yeah,
so it's like
he does say that.
So I think it's like, yeah, be a badass, but also like be smart about it. Like you also can't just go in there. Like you also have to be smart. And if I hadn't have been there, like you would have died 10 times.
Well, and I think it's also like even Freya says to herself, she says to Bjorn, there's something like in me. Like there's something inside of me.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of another hint about Hell, I think, too. Maybe there is something, we don't really know what the effects are of having a child with Hell, because she's the first of her kind. So who knows? Maybe another force inside of her pulling her, like you said, like she says, like an influence of some kind.
Well, and Bjorn seems to resonate with that too. Like he understands. She's like, there's something else inside me. And he's like, I know it's them, because just like you're you, the gods are them and they're in you too. So they can literally influence your thoughts, and you have to discern between what they want you to do and what you want to do. And she's brand new at it. And this is the first time she's really harnessed that magic and gotten in the thick of it. So he's like, you're going to have to learn how to stay true to yourself, even though you have the gods in you kind of influencing your actions, but they're still up to you because you're unfated. Like, you can still make a choice.
That puts it a little more into perspective for me, because I was thinking of it as more of, well, the author is using this to try and like point out that Freya is not acting normally. She's using like the people around Freya to like point it out to her, which makes it kind of unrealistic with Viking culture. But now that you say it like that, and now that we've been talking about it a little bit, I kind of see that making a little more sense. Like, it's not so much the fact that she had bloodlust, it was the fact that like she threw caution to the wind completely and like could have been killed like 100 times over. And also she was like emitting signs of possession, even.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Of some kind. Like, what is going on with you? Like, we're concerned because that was crazy. Even your eyes were like a different color. Like, it wasn't so much the fact that she had bloodlust, it was the fact that something was happening to her, and Bjorn's actually probably more concerned than anything else.
And Bjorn knows her better than anyone else too, and sees that like that was not you.
And this is why you should do book club, because I just
This is why you do book club.
Yeah, because I just changed my whole opinion about that.
Yay.
Yay.
And when he's making a comment like, come with me, like, let's just run away, and she's trying to get him to do her, and she's like, I don't care anymore, just like, let's do it. And
just kick me against the wall, redneck.
She said, like, I don't even know what I'm saying because she wants me to say this. And I'm like, that's not what my first thought was, but she wants me to say it. So, and now she's starting to like have this like inner dialogue war with the god, like what the gods want her to do, or what that maybe it's hell. Like, who cares about consequences? Just do what you want, take what you want, do what you want. And because Freya is always so held back by not only her own integrity, but also everybody else in her life always putting her into a box where her decisions and actions are controlled by everyone around her. So I think that it's so confusing and tempting now that hell is in her, being like, take what you want, do what you want.
Well, and I think that is a lot of the reason why Lean did what she did. She saw this happening and she said, there has to be some kind of balance there, or this is just going to be complete chaos. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to balance this kind of... Hold on. Where's my gods list? I have a gods list.
Nice.
I'd like to hear it.
I'd love it.
Would you like to hear my gods list?
I would love to hear your gods list.
I've got god information.
Tell me, you god among women.
Hold on, let's see here. So, Hel is known for being cruel and uncaring. Hel is depicted as having cold, uncaring qualities, and her realm is portrayed as a place of suffering. She is greedy and harsh. Some interpretations suggest that she was a cruel ruler. So, she has a mean streak to her. Hel is not a good character. Now, Lin is the goddess of consolation and protection. She is the daughter of the water goddess Ran. She serves as Frigga's handmaiden, who is Odin's wife, and her name means protector in Old Norse. She guards and protects those in need, especially women, innocents, and fugitives, and offers sanctuary and refuge from harm, and is often depicted carrying a sword and a shield under which she shelters those who seek safety. So,
I always love the way you say sword.
Sword?
Sword.
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 Sword. My god list, these are also some other gods that I noted that were in the book. Odin, the Allfather, the king of the gods, associated with wisdom, war, death, and prophecy. Air, a goddess of healing and mercy, also referred to as Valkyrie at times. Thor, of course, god of thunder, strength, and protection. Known for his hammer. And Loki, a trickster god, often depicted as mischievous source of chaos, though also capable of great deeds. Freya, goddess of beauty, love, fertility, and gold. Tyr, god of war and the law, known for his strength and courage. And another reference that's made a lot is the Norns, Norns, the goddesses of fate, who live by a well at the base of Vagisil.
Stop it.
I can't pronounce this. I don't know how to pronounce this. It looks like Vagisil to me. YGGDRASIL. What the hell is that?
YGG?
YGG. YGGDRASIL. Yargrisil Vagisil.
It's probably Ygrisil.
Oh, shut up. You have no fucking clue.
I don't know. But it's better than fucking Vagisil.
You're so full of crap.
It's better than Vagisil.
Yeah, but you don't know that's it though.
Spell it. How did you spell it? YGG what?
What?
Oh, I see it.
YGGDRASIL.
Okay, I see it. Yggdrasil. That's what I would guess. Listen.
You don't know though.
Okay. I looked it up. It's Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil. Not Vagisil.
They are not the same stock as all the other gods, giants, elves, dwarves, humans, or any other known beings. There are more than 3 Norns. Norn is just a word for a supernatural woman. It's a little like saying nymph or fairy. But there are 3 named ones that are responsible for people's fates. Jord, Verdandi, and Skuld, who represent the past, present, and future, respectively.
Nice. When Gear shows up and he's being an asshole and all that stuff, Bjorn is like, let's just go. Like, let's just leave. And I was like, oh my God, just fucking leave with Bjorn and go have hot sex and live off the land. Like, who cares? Just go with him.
Well, she doesn't want to go with him because her family will be executed. And she don't want that to happen. He's like, who cares?
You shouldn't care. Like, they don't give a shit about you. And then that altercation with Gear even makes it more apparent. He's like,
yeah.
I was so pissed when I heard that. I was like, oh my God, he fucking did not just
he was
say that to her.
Yeah.
Totally. Because at the beginning, like when he's like fighting for her, you think that he's like really on, like has her back and stuff. But then during this, he's like, oh, quit your complaining. Like maybe your abusive husband was right and you were the problem all along, you dumb cunt. Like, oh my God.
I curse you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Canute.
Oh my God. Every time I saw that word, all I could think of was nugget. Nuggets. Anyway, page 331. Bjorn will not settle if they cannot leave together. Bjorn says, then we can't do this. I won't do it, Freya. I won't skulk around with you in the shadows, living every day a lie, while I watch you be changed by my father's ambition. I'll have all of you or none of you.
Oh, I have that one too. Oh, love it.
Right? Bjorn's hot, bro.
Bjorn's fucking hot.
Yeah.
I would have immediately been like, take me now. I concede. I choose you.
Yeah, no shit. I'd be like, well, you know what? Fuck these pussies. Let's get the fuck out of here. Right?
Like, let's go. What does she need to know about the prophecy exactly? Like, she wants to talk to her mom because she doesn't know things.
She wants to talk to her mama. Yeah. She wants to talk to her about what happened when she was conceived.
Right.
A little bit of backstory. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, I have next to no information about this because they've hidden most of these details from me, and her father's dead. So she's like, I think I need to go have a chat with my mom. And so Ylva, of all people, is like, yeah, you're probably right because we need more information on this. So she basically is covering for...
Which makes you think, oh, is she really being nice? Or is there an ulterior motive here? Which there isn't, but it's a thought that you may have.
Yeah, it's like, okay, was that too easy? So Ylva covers for them, and her and Bjorn head off back to their village so that she can ask her mom all these questions. And her mom, in a tearful confession, basically says, I'm so sorry that I cursed you, Freya. Here's what really happened. Your brother was dying. He was a sickly baby, and he was going to die. And everybody just said, like, just take him to the river and just, like, drown him, or just, like, let the gods take him. Like, he's not going to live. But she was so distraught that she just desperately prayed to the gods, any god that would be willing to come and save her child. And then they get a knock at the door, and a god is there. And they say, like, well, I will do that for you.
But first you got to have a wicked three-way with me.
But first we got to do the deed. And they're like, okay, yeah. Page 343, she says, we opened the door to discover a woman. She was young and beautiful, with skin white as ivory and hair dark as a moonless night. She said, I will spare your son in exchange for a gift in recompense for his loss. And I knew she was a god come at my behest, that my prayers had been answered. Your father asked what she would have in return, and she answered, to lie between you, and what our passions yield shall be the sacrifice that pays for the health of your son. Choose. So she basically is knowing that whatever child they conceive there is going to be a sacrifice to this god. Like, well, because like your baby was going to die, and that makes sense that it's hell now, because it's like, oh, I was going to get a soul, right? And like, so I need a sacrifice to make up for the one that I'm giving back to you.
And it's almost like at least her mother is kind of detached from her. Like, she's always known that this isn't actually my child.
Yeah.
Like, someone's going to get... So, like, I think that her father, it seems like, genuinely really cared about her well-being. But her mother just doesn't as much.
Yeah. And her mom goes on to say... Because it was just,
like, her conception was just a means to protect and save her son.
Yeah.
Greer.
And she says... She goes on to say, of course we did her bidding, and it was unlike any night I've had before or since. Leaving us both so spent, we fell into the deepest slumber. When we awoke, the woman was gone, as was your brother. I screamed and screamed, certain that it had been Loki who'd come and played this cruel trick, healing our son to fulfill his word, but stealing gear away to deprive us of what we'd bargained for, and I cursed myself a fool for not being more careful in my terms. Yet we were both silenced as another knock sounded on the door. And then it was a different god. Your father tore open the door, ready to rain fists down upon the trickster, only to find a different woman standing outside, a basket in hand. Inside was a squalling baby boy, and if not for the mole upon his cheek, I'd never have known the fat, healthy child as your brother, but it was him. And then that was Lean. And she says... You have been played false, and all the tears in the world mean nothing to the one who took your son from you, but they mean something to me. So I will offer you a bargain that is pure. Allow the child about to quicken within you to be my vessel, and I will give you back this boy. But choose swiftly, for the moment to do so will soon have passed. So Lean interfered. She was like, that was a really shit deal that you just got. You got totally played, but I'm going to come in and try to...
Well, and I think she also knew this could be really bad.
Really, really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, she basically saw what Hell was doing, and she's like, ho, two can play that game. Let's go. Like, I'll try to counter the balance.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of the god of chaos from the Sinbad movie. Do you remember that movie? The cartoon?
I was never allowed to watch that one, so I've never seen it.
It's the same people that made Prince of Egypt.
No.
Deliver us.
That soundtrack slaps hard. I don't care who you are.
That is one of the best film soundtracks ever made. Hans Zimmer.
Like, it is in the top 10 hands down best soundtracks of all time.
I love
care
it.
who you are.
It's
Objectively,
amazing.
it is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
It went so hard. It did not have to go so hard.
Speeding ticket every time. Every time.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
100%.
Blood is pumping.
Oh, gets me pumped. Anyway.
That plague song.
Oh, that one's always my favorite.
Into your house, into your bread.
Thus saith the Lord, let my people go.
Dude, the harmonies in that song are great, though.
It is insane.
It's so good.
And then the background music being like, it builds and builds. It's
That's Ralph Fiennes.
Like, it's orgasmic. The music and it's just the crescendo of sounds is just, it slaps.
Yes. It's amazing. Every time.
If you've never listened to that soundtrack, do yourselves a favor, go
don't listen to the soundtrack. Just watch the movie.
Watch the film, yeah.
And turn the sound up. The Prince of Egypt.
Even if you're not religious, and it's objectively an amazing film.
Yeah, it really is. They don't put the thought and care into animated films like they used to.
They really don't.
And that's like that old animation too, like the hand drawn shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's so good. Also, sidebar: does not Justin Baldoni look exactly like if Moses from Prince of Egypt were a real person?
I have literally thought that like 100 times.
Right? Literally. Okay, so
let's get back on here. Sorry, we are the sidebar.
We are the sidebar.
Well, first they decide to go see her mom to ask her about the interaction, and Bjorn is like, I'm not going far. Like, I'm watching you like a hawk. Like, I'm going to give you a minute with your daughter, but like, I see you and I know what's up here. Because it's like Bjorn just has this like sense of you don't actually care about her and you will probably hurt her if you have the chance.
Well, because he has the beauty of objectivity, so he can just see the way that she's been treated by her family as an object, and even his own father, everyone is just treating her like an object, and he sees her as a person. And I wrote down, okay, Bjorn is not wrong. Her family are pieces of shit who do not deserve her loyalty. Page 347. Freya at this point is calling out her mom because her mom's just like, well, go back and do what you need to do. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? She said, you cursed yourself. It would have been easy for you to evade Berger and escape, but all you saw was the benefits Snorri's silver brought you. Same with Geir, who could easily have run away with Ingrid, but refused to give up his choice place in Snorri's warband. In your selfishness and greed, you stuck your own necks under the axe, yet weep that it is my fault when the blade threatens to descend. Mic drop. And her mom responds to this and says, you dare to call me selfish, you little whore.
I remember that. I was like, whoa.
She lifted her hand to slap me, but then a much larger one closed over her wrist. Apologize. Bjorn's voice was like ice. You're the one who should apologize. My mother tried to pull free, but Bjorn's grip only tightened. You're the one who made her like this. Freya used to be a good and loyal woman. She still is. You're just no longer worthy of her loyalty.
Mm.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah, it really goes to show you, I've been seeing this trend lately in fantasy, and it's just tracking of women who have really strong, powerful women who have like corrupt mothers or mothers that are not supportive of them or mothers that are kind of selfish, and how it kind of helps and putting that into the character development and helping to shape the character. And that's something you kind of see here with Freya. And I think that it's more relatable than people realize too. Well,
I was just about to say, like, I guess it's a trend, but it's also so real. Because I mean, in sidebar, but like both of our look at both of our moms. Like you with your mom specifically, and my mom with her mom. Like the way that my mom was treated by her mother
Oh yeah, it's like this like almost this feeling of it's like a worthlessness kind of a feeling.
I literally was just about to say, and she's used those
honestly,
exact words.
It's also something that is completely involuntary. Like you do not even realize that you're doing it.
Yeah, that's what she says.
It's never intentional. It's just, it's ingrained in there. Yeah. But I don't feel that way necessarily. Sometimes I have a hard time accepting or trusting love. But you can just see it in Freya's character development. And that comes through very easily. And the writing is very seamless with the way that it weaves that story together. And you can see those parts of her personality that coincide with that trauma. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Which is, it's really important to note because that's hard to do. You know, and it's almost like it just feels so easy to you just start like seeing those connections there without really making much of an effort. It's very effortless.
Yeah. I also thought that whole scene with her mom was so interesting because for a second, when she's giving this tearful confession, like, I'm so sorry, I failed you, this is what happened, you kind of start to think like, oh, maybe her mom's not as bad or selfish as we maybe thought. But then when she reacts like this, she's like, you selfish little whore, just like do what you were made to do. You're like, oh, that was all those tears, all that was just an act of manipulation. Like she's just trying to manipulate Freya's emotions.
Yeah, or you do have that, just those people that have those ups and downs, you know, you can feel sad for your child and then also be a selfish bitch.
That's true.
And like have like a switch of emotion, but obviously she's just like not a great person in general. Like I was saying earlier, like Bjorn even tells her, like she starts to see towards the end, from the moment of her conception, she was a means to protect another asset. And I really think that that's what I was saying earlier about her mother, that I think that there was this kind of disconnect even from the moment of conception. Like the only reason that I am having this baby is for my other baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also like I've been told that this baby is not going to be mine and she's going to be taken or whatever. So I'm just going to completely emotionally disconnect. Like never mind the fact that those things were maybe going to happen. Like you've completely disconnected yourself from your own child.
Right. Yeah.
And almost as like and I feel like that's almost a self-defense mechanism. Like, I don't want to protect myself from the pain of losing this child, but that's also a very selfish decision that takes like, so obviously she just wasn't a very good mother. Like she was to Greer, but not really, because he's a selfish little prick.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's been raised to believe that he's shit the moon.
And, you know, to your point earlier, in more ancient cultures too, I don't think that they put the same emphasis on family that we do now, right? Like, especially in...
Well, I do think that in general, men are, throughout history, are more coveted than women as far as like children. It's like he's the son, he's carrying on the family name, like she's just another female. You know, she's just a thrall, a slave, or whatever. So she's a means to support the family. So, and I think that's pretty common in history, and I'm not trying to be all like feminist or whatever, but women were not valued.
No, they were
more
valued
than like
as objects,
a couple hundred years ago. We were just complete.
I'll give you 2 goats for your daughter. Like,
yeah, we were
like
fucking property at all times.
So then after that altercation with her mom, then some boats appear and the bad guys have arrived on the shore and they're looking for Freya, and Bjorn and her see this from afar and they are hiding in the bushes and they're like, where did they go? And her mom immediately gives them up like, oh, they went that way, you just missed them. And she's like, okay, great. And then shoots an arrow straight into her mom's chest. And she's like, a woman who would give up her child is like a bitch. So bye.
I had a question about that because obviously we find this out at the very, very end. Like, we're talking the last chapter, epilogue, whatever, that Bjorn is part of this group of people that comes to the house. And the chick that shoots her mother, Freya's mother, she is Skade, is a part of Bjorn's group. So they're on the same team. And so it almost makes you wonder, like, the question I had about that is, knowing what you know at the end, Bjorn could have easily interfered there. Am I wrong?
I don't think that she was on Bjorn's side. I think Bjorn just knew of her because she has the...
No, yes, they are, because they get on the boat together with King Harold at the end and everything.
Oh, is she? Yeah.
She's part of the group. So Bjorn could have interfered there, and he did not. And I'm wondering if that's going to be an issue later between Freya and Bjorn. She's going to be like, wait a minute, like, you were part of this crew and you were just sitting there pretending like you didn't know these people. Like, you could have stepped in and stopped her. You could have stepped in and stopped her from killing my mother and you didn't do it. Like, I was wondering if that was going to be an issue later on or if that will just kind of like be lost to the ether. But that's a thought that I had. Yeah.
That's an interesting thought. I didn't even clock that
I didn't think about it until I was doing my notes today because I had it's been so long since I read it. And that's one thing I'll say about this book is that it lingers. Like, sometimes when you read a fantasy, you've read so many that it just starts to like blend together.
Yes.
And if it's not special enough, you'll just like forget about it. And it's been a while since I've read this and we're talking about it now. And I really remember it freshly, which tells me that it was a great book.
And so they escape. Another thing to note that we didn't earlier, the whole book, Bjorn has told Freya that his one goal in life is to get revenge on the person who killed his mother. And Freya assumes that it's King Harold because that's kind of the general consensus.
Well, and Bjorn leads her to believe that.
And
as well.
Bjorn lets her
That's part of his cover.
That. Yeah. I totally did not see it coming that Bjorn reveals that he is the one, implies that he was the one to kill his own mom. And I was like, oh my God, I did not think that he was the one to
I think it was an accident that he caught the cabin on fire.
And so, like, he told her that in the very beginning, like, he had scars from fire too. He was like, the first time I called Tears fire, I accidentally burned down the cabin and a beam hit me and fell over. And then it is said that, like, his mother burned alive. And I'm surprised that I did not make that connection at all.
I didn't either.
But I didn't.
It was a surprise.
And through the book, Snorri even says, like, when the specter shows up.
It's
there, though.
It is there.
It is there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When I was doing my notes, I was, like, looking at those little things. And, like, this is those Easter eggs where it's, like, the truth was there the whole time. You just didn't have the right context. So good. And Snorri thinks that the specter is Saga, who is Bjorn's mom, and like, oh, she died in fire, so the embers, the smoke.
Oh, and I have a description of the specter here too that kind of coincides with what you're saying. If you want me to read it,
please do.
Okay,
please do.
Page 267. They looked back at me from beneath the hood, and it was a ruin of a face. Flames of orange and red ate at tendons and bone, teeth visible through the blackened holes where cheeks had once been. Whether it was male or female, I couldn't have said, for the only thing that was whole were its eyes. Bloodshot though they were, the green was vivid, capturing me with their gaze. So it's like a burnt, grotesque, and it would go along with the idea of Bjorn's mother being burned alive.
Yeah.
So, and obviously Snorri is extremely superstitious.
Yeah. Well, and Freya, like, she was the one who had the prophecy about Freya, so it would make sense that she's invested in this outcome. Like, okay, she's Freya's spirit guide, but no, it's not. So, and then she says, like, I thought you wanted revenge on the one who killed your mom. And he's like, I do. And then Bjorn reveals that it was just him and his mom alone in a cabin most of their time together, like when he was a child, because she didn't live near anyone, because she was a seer, she was constantly getting visions around everyone, so she always liked to be as far away from everyone as possible. So most of his childhood consisted of just him and his mother alone in this cabin, just the two of them. So even though he was so little,
and they were supported by Snorri, it also says that a seer would take commissions from people in the community, but it was extremely expensive to have a seer like see something for you. But those two things like kind of supported them through Bjorn's youth. And Snorri was nowhere to be found. Like, he was not an active father to Bjorn.
No, not at all.
You find out later that obviously he wasn't a hostage. Okay, they treated him like family.
Basically, King Harold saved him from Snorri. More is the appropriate what actually happened there.
Oh, and I have a couple of notes here. So, Skade is a child of Ullr.
Ullr.
Ullr children had bows with magical arrows that never missed their target. Bjorn says, her arrow is no more made of wood than my axe is of steel.
Mm-hmm.
It is a God-given gift. The only way to kill her is to catch her unaware, but her instincts are second to none. Also, the seer, Bjorn's mother, in the original prophecy, tells Bjorn, and this is something that Bjorn tells Freya with, like, real, like, conviction, like, hey, listen to me. Like, this is my mother. Like, she told me this. The shield maiden would unite them all, but tens of thousands would be left dead in her wake, and that she'd walk up on the ground like a plague, pitting friend against friend, brother against brother, and that all would fear her. And that's something that I think Bjorn's really afraid of. Like, he doesn't want that to happen to Freya.
Well, and he admits to her, he was like, I was prepared to hate you because that's how I've always thought about you. But then I met you and I saw your compassion and your heart for the people. And I just don't see how that could be true. But then he's had that moment on the battlefield where he saw the snippet of that could yield that prophecy when she was losing herself in the bloodlust. Right. So it's complicated for Bjorn. And he's also genuinely loves her.
He is so sweet, too. Listen to this line of his. How is it that the part of you that I hate the most is also the reason I love you?
Oh, swoon. And so they go back and...
Yeah, on the way, Freya says, you know what? You know why my mom is dead? It's that bitch Ylva's fault. Because she's the fucking spy, and she told somebody something, and that's why my mom is dead, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to kill her.
Yeah, because she was like, Ylva's the only person who knew that we were going there, so, like, how did they find us there? And so she's hell-bent on accusing Ylva.
And she tells Bjorn this, and he's like, listen, that's not what's happening, and he knows exactly what's happening.
But he can't say it.
And he's like, stop. Like, it's not, you can't act on this. Like, just trust me. Just, like, listen to me. But he's not being honest with her. He's not telling her the whole truth. And so she's like, well, you know what? I'm going to do what I want. So she tricks him, abandons him, steals his horse, and tries to basically outrun him to get home so she can kill Ylva before he can stop her. She's like, I'm killing this bitch. It's happening.
It's happening. Like, you killed my mother, you bastards. And even when she confronts her, Snorri even is like, that does seem a little sus, Ylva. And she's like, are you fucking serious? After all I've done for you, after all we've, like, even Snorri doesn't nugget of doubt about that. King Harold shows up and they're fighting over Freya.
Oh, but before we get there, Bjorn and Snorri kind of get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because Snorri's like, you think that I don't see the way you're looking at my second wife that I don't like at all, even though she's smoking hot?
You're lusting after my wife.
You're lusting. You think you can cuckold me in my own fortress? You know? Bjorn they start fighting, and Bjorn's like, oh, cheers, fire, my axe. And this is something that Bjorn says to Snorri. And this is kind of another thing that's kind of a little bit of foreshadowing. And I'm like, like, what's going on here? Is this something we're going to find out a little bit now that they're going into Nordland and you find out that he's really with King Harold? And this is a little foreshadowing that I picked up on. Bjorn says, know that you are alive only because I swore an oath not to satisfy my own desires. But do not think that the gods will allow you to go unpunished. And there are fates far worse than death for men like you. But the part that I picked up on was, I swore an oath not to satisfy my own desires. Like, what is that? And that's something we don't really find out anything about that statement that he made. So I'm wondering if that's going to be like kind of a future thing. Like, what kind of oaths or things did he discuss with King Harold about the outcome of why he was sent to basically be a spy? Like, what kind of oaths did he swear there? What does that mean? That's fascinating to me. So
it sets up the second book so well. Like it reveals so much while leaving so much unsaid, but then perfectly sets you up for the next book.
It's very subtle.
So well.
Like it just like it's kind of like Inception, like it plants it there, but it's not like dire that you know about it, but you do want to know.
You clock it.
It reminded me a little bit of When the Moon Hatched, like the way it kind of like layered the setup for the next book.
Yes. Which I'm super excited for that sequel too.
And that is a compliment because that's an excellent book.
It's an excellent book. So they're fighting after that altercation, and Freya, she's seeing all of this chaos, the fighting, and then with Bjorn having told her about that extra layer of the prophecy from his mother about her being responsible for the death of so many people, she's like, you know what? The only thing I can do right now is take myself out of the equation. So she's like, I'm going to go jump off a bridge. Like, if I'm not
off
here,
like the roof of like the fortress, kind of.
And she's like, if I'm not here, then this won't be a problem.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
This is the third very high structure that Freya has jumped off of.
Is it?
Extremely dangerously high. First, it was the roof of the lodge house.
Yes.
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 And then also she jumped off another roof because she was on the roof of the lodge house in Fjalltindr, spying on the inside from the roof. She jumped off from that roof. And then she just jumped off from this roof. And then she jumped off a waterfall. She likes jumping off shit. She is not afraid of heights. She is like, fuck it, Point Break. That is...
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Point Break. That is Freya. She is Keanu Reeves, bro.
Again, you referenced that in Iron Flame. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Where you're like, when we were describing like when Violet like just jumped off of the dragon onto another dragon, I was like, that made me think of the Matrix, and you were like, that made me think of Point Break, where he's like, fuck it, and just like jumps.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
I'm just gonna jump out of this airplane, no fucking parachute. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Just jumping, man.
I've got nothing to live for if this doesn't work out.
Jumping is Freya's thing. Like Tom Cruise has running and sprinting, and Freya has jumping off of high buildings. So she's going to do that, and then Bjorn jumps in after her, and their collective obviously their collective magic saves them, and they get to the bottom.
No, her magic saves them because she calls to her god and creates a shield, and they are protected when they hit the base of the waterfall.
Yeah.
Massive waterfall, definitely dead fall. Everybody's like, well, they didn't survive that. This is over.
No, because no one would survive that fall. And she's like, what do you think you were doing? And she's like, you should have just let me. He's like, Freya, babe, everyone thinks we're dead. And she's like, I know, but we got it. She's like, listen, everyone thinks we're dead. We just did it. We just very effectively faked our own deaths. So let's stick to the water and we'll go away. And so then he takes her back to his childhood cabin. There's a cave nearby. And it was a place that he often went to when he was a child. So they get to have cave sex and they finally do it.
Cave sex.
It's very similar, right, to when the moon hatched when
oh yeah, and Bjorn is like, what does he say? He says, no one fights. He says, Freya, no one fights to possess the dead. We can have a new life. We can leave together. We can, and he's like really excited, but he's leaving a lot out of the story.
He's leaving a lot out, and here's literally what I wrote down.
And they have great, amazing sex, and it's like
it's so good. And so they do it in the hot springs. They do it on the rocks. Like it's just
right.
It's so good.
And of course, he's got a huge schlong, which they always do, don't they? Just like a giant dick, just giant.
I love that real life scene on TikTok where she's like, holds a ruler up and she's like, okay, authors, like literally, like what am I doing with this? Like that's not going in here.
Really? I mean, what? Really?
What? Like, and she pulls it back and she's like this much? Okay, like this much, like great. This much, I'm going to the doctor. This much, I cease to exist. Like that's not happening.
Oh, and I also, when they're having sex, she invokes the goddess or whatever and touches him, and they just like start glowing up like a fucking glowworm, just like bioluminescence. Both of them, luminescence, right in the. So it's like sexual glowing warmth. How beautiful. You know what it made me think about was you know what it made me think about is that scene from Fern Gully. Have you ever seen Fern Gully?
Oh yeah, and they're like,
you remember when they're running across the water and it's like,
and they like put their hands up to each other and it's like glowing, and they're like, whoa.
And then they give each other sex eyes. You know, the look. They give each other the look, like let's fuck.
Oh, the look.
Like that look, you know?
Yeah.
Like in the Lion King.
Oh yeah, like
yeah, you know that look in the Lion King? No,
she's like laying back in the grass with her hands all like, hey.
She's like, hey,
let's get it out.
What's up?
It was so satisfying. And the slow build, the slow burn through the whole book. It was so satisfying. And right after the sex scene, I closed the book and I was like, ooh, that was so good. And then I was like,
satisfied.
Everything I want to happen is happening. Fuck. I'm about to be Tamlin, aren't I? That's literally what I wrote down.
You're about to be Tamlin? Like, no, here's the thing, though. Okay, so
I was like, something bad is about to happen. Like,
yes,
something bad is about to happen.
I felt that too. I was like, there's too many words left in the book.
But also, like, they're too happy. Like, he was too perfect. He was too nice. Like, there has to be the
sex was
thing.
Too good.
It was too, and he was too loving.
She's never had good sex. He does love her, though.
He does
I really
love
think
her,
that.
But it did start as a manipulation, though, which we do learn. But he actually fell for her for real, though.
He was going to abandon all that, though, and just run away with her. He was totally committed to that.
But she wakes up the next... King Harold shows up and he's like, I thought I'd find you here. Well done, Bjorn. And she's like, what?
She's like, squeeze me.
And he's like, Dad, listen. It's not like that.
I love that. I loved how he just like casually strolls into the cave like, hey, what's going on, Bjorn? You keep changing the plans we agreed to. That's what he actually says. Plans that we've worked on for most of your life. That's what he said to him.
Yeah.
I figured you were being a shady friend. I was just, dude. Just shocking, too, because I really didn't expect any of this, Bjorn. And you're like, no.
And I was like, and right when I was like, there it is, god damn it, I knew it. I knew he was always loyal to him, god damn it.
Not Bjorn.
I'm being tampered. But then she's listening to all this happening and she's just like, she can't believe it. She's just like, motherfucker. Like, she's like, oh my God. She's like, are you a Scotlander? Are you a Nordlander? And he was like, Nordlander. And she's like, oh, how could you? Everything is a lie. And he's like, no, it wasn't. I really love you. Like, I didn't lie about any of my feelings. And of course, Harold isn't helping by being over there being like, well, we agreed and you were going to get her to me and blah, 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 blah. So Bjorn was like the one person she didn't feel used by. And in that moment, that very understandably comes crumbling down. Like, that's bad. That's a bad look.
Yes.
Understandably.
Very painful betrayal. You boned her, but didn't tell her what you had done to her. Like, you could have fucking told her. And here's the thing, just because you were running away together doesn't mean that you couldn't have told her.
Yeah, and I'm gonna call out Bjorn, because when she was ready to go to town, he was like, I'll have all of you or none of you. That should go both ways, Bjorn.
Bjorn. That should go both ways, Bjorn. You're killing me right now. But not only that, when she finds out, she says, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. And fuck you. And fuck you.
Fuck all
and
of you.
all of you. And she just like curses them. And hold on, we got to read what she says exactly. I curse you, I screamed. And it felt like the world trembled, tilting beneath my feet. I curse all of you never to see Valhalla. I curse all of you to Helheim. May hell take all of you into her keeping. Then the ground surely did tremble, rumbling and bouncing, everyone struggling to keep their balance. Freya, Bjorn stumbled toward me, but before he made it 2 steps, great blackened roots exploded from the earth, wrapping around his legs, and not just him. All around me, roots exploded from the earth to grasp the legs and arms of Harold's warriors. Men and women screaming as they hacked at them with axe and sword, but the weapons just passed through the roots as if they weren't there. Panic overwhelmed my rage, and I lost my footing. The blast of thunder sent me staggering, and it rips everyone into the ground.
Into hell.
Into hell. Into Helheim.
Except for Bjorn and Skate.
Except for people with the blood of the gods, because they can combat the roots.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else in their
weapons.
party is gone and dead.
Which obviously she doesn't know that she can literally curse people. And so here's a question I have. Because I feel like people in general just curse people and like, oh, like, fuck you, go to hell. But when she says it, it actually like means something. But I'm wondering if there was something in the ritual that unlocked Helheim for Freya.
Well, she had never said that curse specifically. Like,
no.
I curse you to Helheim.
No.
I curse you never to enter Valhalla. I curse you to Helheim. But she does say it to the skeletons in the mountain.
Yeah, and something happens there too. But I'm wondering, like, did any of that work before? Because she's always had Lean's power that she knew about, but she's never had I feel like it always like blocking the hell power until she had that ritual with Ylva and she gets the second tattoo?
I don't think that she ever really invoked hell or invoked those words. She never said that.
Not the words specifically, but she knew she had Lean's power and could like do stuff with it.
She didn't think that any of it was because she's known for her protection, for her shield.
Right.
Not for injuring or damning people. But it says also
Lean
says when she comes to the family to like give her the drop of blood to like balance give her the balance. He says if she had only this other blood, her life would be a curse. She's never really cursed someone that way. And she's very shocked in the book. She's like, oh my God. Like, no, it really freaks her out. Like, she didn't even realize, like, wow, this is like a really serious power I didn't even know I actually had. Yeah.
Well, and that's why I was wondering, like, if that was activated more via the ritual.
Maybe it was. Yeah.
Like, it awakened it and allowed that channel. Because when Lena's first, like, marking her, then the circle changes, and that's when everybody's like, well, what the hell is happening?
That's a good question, though. It's not till after she has the ritual that things start happening like that, with the shaking of the earth and the...
We have that reveal, and they take her. She wakes up later on the boat, and they're heading up to Nordirland.
And Bjorn tells her, yeah, you can be your own woman there. He promises her, you can be your own person there. You are not a prisoner.
Yeah, well, and even King Harold says, like, oh, like, you can do whatever you want. Like, I'm basically trying to save you from Snorri and save everybody else from Snorri's reign and rule. But we get another plot twist where she's like, I can't believe you would do this. Like, you told me that blah, blah, that you wanted revenge on him for killing your mother. And he was like, he's not the one who killed her. My mom's alive. She's not dead. And I wrote down, I was like, okay.
That was a good twist.
Twice with the mommy twist. Twice you got me with the mommy twist. Like, I usually guess a lot of things, and I did guess at a lot of things towards the end. But those two things, like, when
that really caught me off guard.
Really
that
caught.
One did.
Last page, and I read it, and I was like, oh.
I was super shocked when Bjorn had betrayed her, and I was like, fuck this guy. Fuck him. I was immediately so mad. And that's kind of how Freya's reaction is. And they're like, but you know what? We're going to take you with us, though. We're taking you, though. We're taking you. And then you get this kind of like, they're in the boat. They're going towards Nordland. And you get this kind of foreshadowing that, like, oh, and also Sternum is with them. The Skald.
Steinum.
Steinen. Sternum is with them. And Steinen is with them. And she's a part of this group too. So it's all these people, and you didn't realize were working together. And you get this foreshadowing that, like, oh no, these are actually the good guys.
Yep.
You've been thinking the whole time. It's just like ACOTAR, man. You're thinking the whole time that the Night Court is no good. But the Nordlanders...
I did have thoughts of that throughout the book, though. I'm like, I think that Snorri is, like, going to end up being, like, the bad guy. And that we're going to end up in the Nordirland.
He is a bad guy.
He is a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure, but I did have an inkling of, like, maybe it's going to be more on the flippity flip. Like, we think that these are the good guys, but they're not the good guys.
Flip. Flippity flip.
So I did suspect that before it happened. So
I love that she jumped out of the fucking boat. She was like, fuck you. Bye.
Yeah, she jumps off of stuff. She's like, bye.
She jumps off of stuff. She's like, bye. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
What are you going to do? Jump in after me? Come on.
But they do. They jump in after her.
Yeah, Bjorn does. But she was like,
well, I'm
bye.
not going to make it easy. I'm not going to make it fucking easy.
I immediately was laughing. I was like, hilarious. He, like, calls her back up. He's like, just listen to me. Just sit there for 2 seconds. Just be quiet.
Like you have every right to be mad. I understand, but just listen to me. I should have told you, and I was planning on it. If Daddy hadn't showed up and
planning on it, he was gonna run away with her and just pretend like the whole thing never happened, like a real guy. That is such a real dude thing to do. Like, you know what? If we just run away, I can just pretend like this whole thing never fucking happened.
I don't think he would have actually run away with her. Like, he would have always
gone
back.
He was going to.
I don't know.
He was, though. They were gonna do it. But here's the thing, like, How stupid are you two also to bring her there?
Well, yeah, because Harold was immediately like, "Oh, I figured your childhood cabin would be a good place to start looking."
Yeah.
It's like, Bjorn, come on.
Bjorn.
Fail, Bjorn.
Oh, Bjorn.
Oh, Bjorn.
All right. I have no more notes.
Me either.
Quotes. Time for quotes.
Time for quotes. Go for it.
All right,
my
guys.
friend.
This is the quotes section. We're going to read the quotes that we highlighted from this book, or at least the ones that we think are worth reading out loud to you. And then we're going to do 1-star reviews and final thoughts and ratings. Yay, here we go. I'm going first, page 10. This is Freya when she first meets Bjorn. He's flirting with her. He's like, ooh, aren't I a specimen? Don't you think, woman? Or something. And she's this close. I gained an appreciation for just how large he was. Head and shoulders taller than me and twice my breadth, droplets of seawater rolling down his slick skin. I should tell him to leave. For I was wed, and this was my husband's land. But instead, I looked him up and down. What makes you think I wish to keep you? You cannot fight. You cannot flirt. You cannot even catch a fish when they are thrown right at you. And I just think that, like, Freya is so funny. Like, their banter, all they do is talk shit to each other.
I know, it's so fun.
They just talk shit. But it's, like, good dialogue. It's not boring or cringy. It's fun.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, it's very fun. This quote, I believe it's Snorri who says this to Freya when she's, discovered her god power and that's revealed, and he's explaining, like, how important that is. Page 28. Your path is unknown, and as you walk it, you rearrange the threads of all those around you. And I really liked that quote.
Like that.
And I think that's just true in real life,
That's a great way of explaining, like, their fated and unfated thing, too.
Yeah. But also just, like, you could apply it to everyday life. Like, no matter who you are, where you're going, or who you're around, you're affecting people, whether you realize it or not.
This is Bjorn. He's talking to Freya. She's talking shit to him about him losing his hand because she's just been burned.
Uh-huh.
And she says, I'm sorry, I said to him, a tremor running through me. You should be, he held my gaze. I swore it was the only thing keeping me from screaming. All the women in Helsar will curse your name if I lose half my fingers. So that was funny. I was like, oh, Bjorn.
Oh, Bjorn.
Oh, Bjorn.
Oh, Bjorn. This, another one I liked. This is Bjorn talking. Freya has just married Snorri, and she was made to wear gloves to cover up the scars on her hand. And Bjorn's telling her that she shouldn't be ashamed of them. And she tosses her gloves. Then Snorri comes to take her to consummate their marriage. And Bjorn says to her, not all scars we earn are skin deep, Freya born in fire. There is no less honor in them.
Aw, I like that.
I know. He's like, you're about to be scarred for life by having sex with my father. I'm so sorry.
If only I could help you. I'm thinking that mine are a little more silly than yours in general.
No, well, those are just I have
because here's my next one.
I have funny ones too. Trust me. I just like have them in order of just like where they appear in the book.
Yeah, me too. I'm also going in that order.
I do have some silly ones. Don't worry.
Page 53. If you're willing to do so much to rub your arse against a man's cock, you're desperate indeed. I waited for the jab to land, wanting the petty satisfaction of seeing her embarrassment, but the woman's dark eyes only met mine with a smile. Or he's that good and bad.
I almost wrote that one down. That's funny. Page 131. They're all riding to the mountaintop for the god sacrifice. By the time dusk fell, the horses were laboring hard, and my body ached from bouncing up and down for hours on Bjorn's lap. Judging from his groans as he slowly dismounted his horse, falling on his back in the dirt and shouting at the sky that he had lost his ability to sire children, he had not fared much better. Bounce.
This is Freya. Page 94. She's talking to Bjorn. I'm not standing by while innocents die in a fight over me. If you try to stop me, I'll stab you in the stomach.
I love how feisty she is.
Let me get me knife. Oh, Freya.
Freya. Page 161, Freya says to Bjorn, and before you start arguing, allow me to remind you that I don't give a shit about what you think when what you think is complete shit.
This is Bjorn talking about women.
Oh no, I think it's gonna be mine. Is it the one?
Women always talk. He led me up a section of stairs, my legs wobbling with each step, especially to one another. There is no secret sacred enough to your kind to silence your tongue when you gather, especially when there is wine.
Yes.
And that's Bjorn saying that. He's so shaky.
Yeah. Dang it, you stole that one.
Yep.
Page 161, they've just survived their first Draug encounter and they're arguing. And she goes, "Kiss my arse, Bjorn." A smirk worked its way onto his face. Perhaps later. I doubt that was the last we've seen of the Draug, and while meeting my end with my lips pressed against your backside might not be the worst death, I don't think it will earn me a place in Valhalla. My skin was blazing, but I managed to get out. I'm sure you wouldn't be the first arse licker to enter Valhalla. It's licking now. His shoulders shook with mirth, and I cursed myself because I never seemed to get the better of him. Such a filthy mind, Freya. Does your mother know the things you say?
Page 275. His stubbled cheek brushed against mine, his breath tickling my ear, and he said, "And don't you dare tell me that it was respect for my father that you felt pressed between your thighs that night."
I skipped one. Page 137, Snorri is saying how Freya's magic seems to be more powerful than Bjorn's, and how his reaction to this surprises her. Page 137, if Bjorn's ego was bruised by the comment, he didn't show it, only shrugged. That certainly seems to be the case. I waited for him to caveat the statement, to argue that in battle I wouldn't stand a chance against him. But he didn't tear me down in order to make himself look strong, as so many men did.
Aww.
Bjorn.
Oh, Bjorn.
Bjorn!
That's because a woman wrote him. A woman wrote him, that's why. Because men are flawed. They are not perfect.
They are not.
And they certainly don't look like this and are perfect. I mean, let's just get that out of the way.
I mean, Bjorn is flawed too, though.
Page 281.
Oh no, I think this is mine. Damn, it's my next one.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
I bet it is. I bet it is. Is it about tits?
Yes.
Damn it.
We have a lot of the samesies for this one.
We do.
No, same brain. Okay. 281. You look like you're freezing your tits off. I scoffed, giving him a disgusted glare. Oh, my poor frozen breasts. If only some generous man would offer to warm them for me. He shrugged, his voice flippant as he said, "Your words, not mine."
And then she goes, "Piss off, Bjorn. I could take care of myself." Well, this is my last one since he's.
I have one more too. I wonder if it's the same one. I'm like, okay, go.
Mine's on 295.
Nope.
Okay, good. It was easy to take risks when one faced death, but far more difficult to take them when one faced life. And that was what he promised.
That's true, too.
Mm-hmm.
I have my last one's a good one, too. Bjorn's talking to Freya, and she's just flipping out over the mistakes that she made that could have caused Bodil's death.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, if I would have done this, this wouldn't have happened, and this wouldn't have happened. And Bjorn crouched next to me, his gaze fixed on Bodil's blackened blade. To have these thoughts will drive you mad, Freya, for there is no way to know if your choices caused certain outcomes. He was quiet for a moment and then said, I think most people find comfort in being fated, and knowing that everything has already been set out for them, because no decision is truly yours, but rather something determined by the Norns. Even the gods must take comfort in knowing that their fates are certain, the outcome of the end of days already known for them. But for whatever reason, those like you and me and Bodil are able to alter the weave of our threads, which means we must bear the full burden of every choice that we make.
Boom.
And I thought that was like an interesting concept.
Yeah.
That even the gods' fates are set in stone.
Yeah.
It's only this small really group of people of unfated.
The unfated.
And fate for fate. How's another way we can say it? I don't know. Let's say it a million more times. I feel like we have said that word. Unfated and fated and fated and unfated. I feel like I say that word more than any other word on the podcast. Fate.
Fate. Really?
Yes. Well, and so many fantasy books have fating in them.
True. Those were good quotes. It's funny that we had so many of the same ones.
I know, right? Oh, wait, I have one more. Oh, Bjorn. Oh, this is page 391. Bjorn kissed me, our teeth knocking together with the force of it. His tongue chasing over mine as he plunged into me, breath hot and rapid. Oh, rapid. Not rabid. The teeth knocking, though, I was like, ouch, that does not sound good. That sounds painful. Yeah. Oh, did you knock it loose? Yikes.
Yeah, we literally, this is so funny. We had that same quote in Iron Flame where like we were tangle of tongues and teeth, and you were like, ugh. You never want the teeth clashing moment when you're kissing.
Mm-mm. No. Ouch.
Not hot.
It's not hot. It immediately also is just like an instant mood killer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck.
You chipped my tooth.
My face. So I think we're done with quotes. And we're going to move on to 1-star reviews.
1-star reviews.
Do you want some stats?
Give me some stats.
Here's a Goodreads stats. Fading from Blood by Danielle L. Jensen has an average rating on Goodreads of 3.94.
Really? That's
out of 135,000 ratings roundabout. Only. I thought that was a low number too. I feel like this is a really popular book.
Yeah.
Most people rated this book 4 stars at 41%, with the least amount of people rating at 1. But that is still 1,776 people. 5-star was 29%, so it was like second place.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Rachel says, by the end, I was wishing for bad things to happen to the main characters.
Rude.
Emma says, the only redeeming quality of this book is that it ends. There is more chemistry between 2 pieces of whole wheat toast than the main characters.
What?
I know, right? Like, dang.
Wow.
Rainia says, I had so many high expectations for it. Maybe that's why it felt like a wet splat of shit falling on my face.
Oh my god!
So mean.
Jesus.
Allie says, this was so full of nothing. I felt my brain cell count decreasing as I read.
Sounds like a you problem.
Nella says, I have once again entered the twilight zone where I have read a completely different book from everyone else. I'm just glad it's over.
Wow.
Samina says, how is this the same author that wrote The Bridge Kingdom? Freya is the worst. She's stupid, arrogant, whiny, completely intolerable. I was actually hoping she would be killed. Bjorn is bland and loves her for no good reason. The plot is paper thin. A feat in itself, given the length of the book. The narrator did all right for the audiobook. That was my last one.
I will say that the narrator was not my favorite.
I didn't listen to the narrator.
I can't remember if I said that earlier or not, but I don't know if it was the accent that was throwing me or just the Norse words. I don't know. She wasn't my favorite. Like, it wasn't bad by any means, but
I saw a lot of comments about The Bridge Kingdom.
Yeah, I need to read those.
Yeah, and oddly enough, randomly, I read The Bridge Kingdom like last month. It just was free.
That's right.
Yeah, it was just a free audiobook that was on Audible Plus, and I just grabbed it, and I didn't even know it was written by Danielle Jensen.
Was it good?
I was like halfway through. Yeah, it was really good. It was very good. It was interesting. It's different, but it's very strong female lead in that book.
How would you compare it to this one?
I wouldn't compare it, honestly, because they're just so completely different. I really liked The Bridge Kingdom, and I really liked this book too. In different ways. It does feel like it doesn't feel like it's like, oh, well, this is like the same author. Like, if you had given me both books with no author on it, I wouldn't have guessed that it was the same.
That's cool, though.
But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
No, it just shows her range.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't understand that. And then a lot of the other 1-stars that I noticed were related to just DNFing it.
Really?
There was a lot of DNF comments. Well, but still, 1,700 out of 130,000 is pretty good ratio for 1-stars, I would say.
Yeah. Sorry you didn't like it. We did.
All right, final thoughts and rating?
Final thoughts and ratings. You want to go first?
No, I went first last time.
Oh, my rating. I really, really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really fun. I loved being in the Viking Norse environment. It was really refreshing change up to the normal fantasy setting that we are kind of oversaturated with right now. The writing and pacing was really good. It was exciting. You got a feel for the characters and the world and their dynamics with each other. I love a good cliffhanger ending. I am not mad about it. And I'm really excited to see what happens next. I just really enjoyed it. It was just really fun. 4 stars. Solid 4.
Oh, 4 stars. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! I really loved it. The environment. I read this immediately following Onyx Storm, and it was everything I needed it to be to pull me out of my reading slump. I thought it was entertaining. It was fun. I was never bored, not for a minute. The cliffhangers at the end, there was still enough resolution to be okay with the questions that you ended with. And then at the same time, really make you want to crave reading that next piece. And I'm so glad that we just read it because the next one's coming out soon.
I know.
And we'll be able to just pick it up and read it right away. And I'm excited about that. I'm really excited to be excited about a series again. I really haven't been that excited about one in a long time. So for me, I say 5 stars.
Ooh,
5 stars for me. Well, and also
Very
because I just
nice.
love Viking stuff, and it was just
I do
so
too.
refreshing and good and solid, and it was just fun. I had a great time reading it. I'm also really do want to read it again already, which tells me it's a 5-star read. Like, if I'm excited about reading the book that I just read, it usually makes me want to do 5 stars. So 5 stars for me.
Yay. I went back and forth with 5 and 4, but I think
I did too. Honestly, it wasn't probably until we talked about it where I was like, you know what? I really did love this book, and I really did think about it and have been thinking about it all this time, because I finished reading it a while ago, and it really sticks with you.
Yeah.
Keep thinking about it still, and it doesn't help that we're always doing the promotional stuff for it.
Yeah.
You know? Like the ambience videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, so fun. They're really
It's
cool,
so
you guys.
fun.
It's nice because I actually got to have the ambience on while I was finishing the book, so that was super fun. You guys should check it out. It's really good. Lita did a really good job on that one.
Thanks.
So, group rating. What do we do for group rating?
Group rating. Well, if we don't both do 5, we don't do 5, so we do 4.
Are you sure? I could be okay with rounding up because I was debating. And I was kind of at a 4.5 and I was kind of going up or down. Like, I'm okay with a 5 group rating.
Do you want to do 5 stars?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, 5 stars. Yay! 5 stars. Baddington Blood.
Baddington Blood.
I love it. Top recommendation. A top recommendation.
Tops.
Absolutely tops.
You know what? When you say tops, the only thing I think of is Sister Act when they're singing. As a matter of opinion, I think he's tops. My opinion is he's the cream of the crops.
Oh my god, I
love that movie.
Those movies. I haven't watched
They're
them
so good, and they hold up so well.
Oh my god, every time Jared says Sister Act 2, he says the full name of the movie, and it makes me laugh every time. Instead of just saying
Back in the Habit.
He says Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. I'm like, yes, honey.
I love it.
If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, better wake up and pay attention. Oh, Mary had a little lamb. This is what it's known. Everywhere Mary went, the lamb should have go, booga, booga. The love
boat. We will be making another run. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
I love it when the nuns are all rapping. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da. People moving out, people moving in. Uh-huh. Because of the color of their skin. What? Run, but you cannot hide.
We are like the same person when we talk.
That's so good. Ah, so fun.
Well, I can't wait for May. Can you wait for May?
May. It's gonna be May.
Oh, I'm so excited. We're doing 2 Freya McFadden books for May.
Double booked.
And
we're doing Freya McFadden. We're going to do The Boyfriend and The Crash.
Yes.
For
We're doing
May.
all the thes. We're doing all the ones that start with the.
Yeah, our 3rd book ever was Freya McFadden, and that was our first one, and we had feelings about that one, so we wanted to give Freya another chance and check out some more of her books, and both of those are pretty popular right now, so we thought, why not?
Why not check them out? I'm excited. I'm excited to do a different genre, because we've been doing a lot of fantasy.
Yep.
Yes.
Very true, very true. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to reading some other stuff from her. Because I did hear from people who are fans of Frida that The Teacher was even an off book for them, and that was our first one. So it'll be interesting to see. I've heard mixed reviews on some, and I've had a friend say that The Boyfriend was really good. So I'm looking forward to reading them both. And we'll see.
Well, at this point in time, I've already read The Boyfriend, and I'm gonna leave my comments. I'm gonna just pull them inside.
All right.
I have not heard good things about The Crash. I've actually heard a lot of bad things about The Crash. But I'm not, I don't judge. I just go into it completely blind, and
yep, I always
feel
go
how
in
I
with an
feel.
open mind. There are some books that like have not the best ratings, and I'm like, this was a 5 for me. So Same with movies. Like, The Greatest Showman has like 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I fucking love that movie.
You know what? You know what's another one that I like that everybody hated? Cats.
Really?
I liked Cats. I liked it. I thought it was whimsical and funny, and it wasn't as boring as watching people walk around in clogs with fake tails. I mean, it was at least entertaining, and I like the music.
I've not watched it. I've not watched it.
I think that movie gets a bad rap. I like cats.
Well, you like cats.
I like cats.
And that's okay. And I would never judge you for I've never seen it. But
well, everybody fucking hates that movie.
I did hear collective disdain for it. So we'll be reading those next. Read with us. And if you read The Boyfriend or The Crash, we want to hear what you thought about it. Email us, bookmatespcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you have a rant or a rave? We want to know. And if you would like, we will read it on the podcast. So let us know. And then where else can they find us?
You can find us on our website at www.bookmatespodcast.com. You get to all of our socials from there, our link tree. We have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And we're actually doing a lot on our YouTube right now. If you like ambiance videos while you're reading, we're starting to come out with some of those. So check us out on YouTube at Bookmates Podcast.
And if you want to go the extra mile, you can go on our website and support the show. And that's really, really awesome. And if you did something like that, we would shout you out on the podcast. And we're also going to be launching a Patreon channel in August, where we're going to do some not safe for work content, whether it be smutty stuff, dark romance, horror, Bookmates After Dark. Tune in to Patreon this August. 1-star book, 5-star time is our motto over there. So
hell yeah.
We'll be doing all sorts of stuff on there. So
I really did like The Merman's Kiss more than Onyx Storm.
That is so true.
That is a true statement. I liked that book more than Onyx Storm. I was more invested in The Merman's Kiss than Onyx Storm. I can officially say. And they were both the only 1-star books that we've done.
I love you.
I love you. Well, this is fun. I'm tired.
Fun. Goodbye, Bookmates.
Goodbye, Bookmates.
Goodbye. See you next time for book club.
We will see you next month. Adieu.
Adieu. Good night. I love you.
Good night. I'll see you later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.